It's doesn't take itself too seriously. It's a funny book. I think it's one that if you like both of those genres, you will get a lot out of. If you're not into either of those subcultures, maybe the book's not going to really land.
I'm here. I'm here. Woo! Okay, I'm here. I was finishing the episode 11 react. I just finished. Hold up, I'm gonna close my windows. That's weird. Did I go live an hour early? Oh no, my thing is off. Okay, we're good. Your react? Oh, I got it up. I got it ready. I watched it yesterday. Look, okay, we're gonna clickbait people, and we're gonna retitle it countdown to episode 11, right? Now, okay, hold up. The thumbnail is gonna be a little cursed, okay? I'm warning you. The thumbnail might be a little. My face might look a little freaky. Just remember, I did it for you guys. All right. Hold up. We're gonna download this, and then I have to go on our live stream. You gave up following Crunchyroll release? Well, no, yo, I'm about to play Cyberpunk while watching. Yo, Cyberpunk is a good game. I'm not gonna say it's amazing. I felt like I should have stopped after my first ending. I felt like the more I played it, the more I force myself to like fall in love. I love the game. It's really good, by the way. But don't abbreviate. Do not abbreviate Cyberpunk 2077. Let's not do that. But yeah, it's I beat it. I beat it all, dude. I like the first ending I got without spoiling it. I got the first ending you get depending on how you play. And then I kept playing it thinking the endings would be different or better, and I'm like, I kind of just like where the game ended for me. And then I played Phantom Liberty, and I'm like, you know what? I was like, I still like the ending I got from like 2 years ago. But it's a good game. I like it. It grew on me more. Also, freaking Edge Runner's grown me a lot. It's like 3 years old. You can spoil it. Yeah, I got the first ending, man. When you're on the spaceship, when you're like trying to go back, and I think that's the best ending. The worst, the ending people say is the worst is actually my favorite fucking ending. All right, let me retitle stream. Should it just be countdown stream to episode? Countdown stream. Countdown. Well, it's like the result of your choice, so it makes sense to you. True. And then I didn't like the endings, I didn't like the ending I got in Phantom Liberty, and I didn't like every single other ending besides the first ending I got when you're like on the spaceship, and like it was a very bittersweet ending. Just you and Johnny is my favorite. The one when you're on the bus. My brother loves that ending, and I told him I don't like that ending when it's just Johnny rather than you. I don't know. I feel conflicted. I think when I replay it before the sequel, it'll grow on me more, the other endings. But I still think the first ending I got is my favorite. Okay, countdown stream to Lord of the Mysteries. Episode 11. Reading 10:45, 48 through 10:55 now, okay? And then I hit done, and then I'm gonna schedule today's episode. Dude, don't be scared by the thumbnail, okay? I'm just don't judge me, okay? Hold up. We are done. Let me just add the description in the video. Darn, I was running a little late because I was trying to finish this before it went live. That way the video goes live the second the episode is out. Well, 30 minutes after the episode goes out. So we're gonna schedule it to set as premiere today, and it comes out at this time, and then we get the 30 minutes. 30, perfect. And then we're gonna save. No, I should do it within the hour. Let's do it by the hour. Let's just do 1 hour from Crunchyroll's release time. All right, you guys ready? Just from private to public, set as premiere. Oh, why is it in the morning? Wait, I fucked up. What's the date today? Today's the 29th. Show us your thumbnail. I know. I'm setting it right now. Username got it. Username literally got the emojis down to the fucking bitter teeth. Wow, dude, you're a fucking genius. You figured it out. Well, the first two are accurate. All right, I'm setting the premiere right now. Set as premiere August 29, 9 p.m. local time. So let's do Central West Coast time. West Coast 9 p.m. Not 9. Okay, now the thing is scheduled. Okay. And now I go on this live stream. And I change the thumbnail for this live stream. All right. Oh man, it's cursed. It's so cursed. Oh my god. I should change this fucking thumbnail. I should make this shit private, man, before people see. You guys should refresh the video. Wait, no. I feel like I'd be breaking copyright, maybe. I saw it. You know what? It's cursed. It's pretty cursed. Wait, I probably shouldn't have the thumbnail on screen because then maybe Crunchyroll might think that I already have a reaction up before the episode is out. And I don't know if that'd be breaking and bar. Nah, I think it's safe. I think it's fine. You know what? It's cool. All right, we're good. Now, just give me a second. to chew a little bit food. Give me a sec. The clown. No comment. No comment. No comment. Give me a sec. Just give me one quick sec, guys. I haven't eaten yet. Qualcomm. How am I on memory? We're good on memory. Okay. Let me take my phone out and mute it because the missus might call me in a few hours. Tifo, hydrate, and we read. That's good for at least the first half. All right, we have about 200 gigs of memory space. I think I'm good. All right, and we go straight into the chapter. We are on 1048, correct? Yes, 48. Now, before I actually read, I don't want to skip a chapter again. Let me make sure it's actually accurate, and then we'll get right to it. Okay, 148. All right. Let me just, you know what? Let me put this on the let's put this on the beginning. Oh, this is cursed. This is definitely cursed. Oh man. We need a chat and the pop out. Thank you. YouTube chat. Oh, yeah, I didn't turn it on. Oh, thank you. I have everything hidden. Sorry, I had everything hidden. I had everything hidden for when I was doing like a full screen part. LOTM. And then Lord of Mysteries, fan art. LOTM. And perfect. Okay, awesome. Chapter, cover, chat, fan art. Good. Okay, we're perfect. Awesome. All right. Damn, this thing is cursed. I should take it off. Wow, this is a very cursed thumbnail. So if you guys are excited for our episode react, check this out. What are you talking about? This is just for people that don't know. If you're watching this, you guys should definitely watch the episode 11 react. And 4 hours. The episode will premiere in 4 hours. So that's your warning. Make sure you guys check it out when that goes live. That's crazy. I can't believe I don't think I'm ever gonna do that again. I'll do it for the finale, and I think that's it. And then other than that, today we are reading Lord of the Mysteries. Chapter 1048. We read at least until the episode goes live. That being said, like, comment, subscribe, and we're like 1,000 chapters in. We know the intro. Let's just get right into it, dudes. All right, let me just prop my fan because it's hot as a motherfucker in here. Do I feel that? I feel the air. I feel the air. Oh, I feel so fat and overweight, man. It's bad. Got the V for the vendetta hair. Look. My girlfriend was like, take off the fucking wig, dude. The guy has brown short hair. You can't even, like, no, just take it off, man. I'm like, oh, fine. I'll take it off. And then I took it off, and it's like, and then she left, like, you know, I'm gonna keep it back on. All right, let's get reading. Chapter 1048 is called Real and Fake. The wig is sick. No, we didn't have it on the whole episode. We just had it on for, like, the first half. But Real and The Fake Spy, chapter 1048. Maybe Miss Izaki, she was cooking a little bit. In the ancient palace above the great fog, the world German Sparrow's words coming to an end. No one spoke for a moment. The entire place was silent. The psychology alchemists are cooperating with the king's faction and are investigating Shio and I. The founding of the psychology alchemists originated from the discovery of a Hermes ruin, and Hermes is a member of the Twilight Hermit Order. Its leader happened to be an angel of imagination, Adam, and Shio and it's crazy. Its leader happened to be an angel of imagination, Adam, and Shio and I had mentioned Adam in the real world. This were in the sights of the kings of angel. This, in the world of mysticism, just a slight mistake can result in such dangerous circumstances. For's mind was filled with German Sparrow's warning as she was gripped with horror and panic. Although she had experienced many things in the past, she had never had such a clear realization of the thorny path beyond her thread. Any mistake could lead to a terrible consequence. I have to be more cautious in the future. Of course, the premise is that I can survive under the watch of kings of angels, Adam. May Mr. Fool bless me. For seriously reflected on the matter and silently prayed. Shio also didn't expect her situation to be so perilous. She didn't expect that something like this would involve a king of angels. She couldn't help but feel horrible and fearful, but she had already decided to sacrifice herself for the truth. She rapidly calmed down, but couldn't help but shoot a glance at the magician, feeling guilty for pulling her good friend into the conundrum. At this point in time, crying and feeling remorse wouldn't solve the problem anymore. All I can do is try my best to keep Fours alive at the critical moment. Fortunately, there's still Mr. Full blessing. Shio cast her gaze at Justice Audrey as she thought to herself, then what should we do next? She had mixed feelings towards Miss Justice's recommendation. On the one hand, she knew that Audrey thought highly of the Terror Club and had recommended her purely out of good intentions. On the other hand, she felt that she had gained the notice of a secret existence for no good reason. Thankfully, it was Mr. Fool, or she would have died a tragic death long ago. Even her soul wouldn't be able to receive deliverance. Well, I guess it's because I voluntarily chanted Mr. Fool's honorific name that I was dragged into this. There wasn't any coercion? Ultimately, I'm sitting here of my own violation. It has nothing to do with Miss Justice. Also, if it wasn't for her recommendation, I might never have had such an opportunity to grow stronger, to seek out the truth. She'll purse her lips as she's weighing the good versus the bad. She'll purse her lips as she furtively took a deep breath. Just as Audrey knew about the relationship between the Twilight Hermit Order, Hermes, and Adam, so she had the calmest one there. Just she never expected that Force and Shio casually mentioned of the angel imagination had garnered his attention. This made her have the oh my god, I cannot read. This made her have the unprecedented awareness of the horror behind the words. Any mention of it will be known. Yo, Mr. E, how you doing today? We're doing pretty good, man. After some deliberation, Audrey looked at the world German Sparrow and tried to interpret his words. I'm contemplating if I change the thumbnail. I'm debating if it's too late. Does Mr. Full mean that he doesn't want to directly make an enemy of the Twilight Hermit Order at this moment? Does that mean that it can be done indirectly? Klein nodded slightly and said that should be the case. Does it involve interference with divination, one's attention, and prophecies? Audrey asked at this mini-gathering. The world German Sparrow represented the will of the Fool. Klein laughed and hoarsely said, perhaps a little more indirect. He answered vaguely because the Fool hadn't thought of what to do either. Now I'll get clicks. Then I guess we'll leave it. Their conversation seemed to inspire Olger. He looked at Justice the Magician and Judgment one after another. Which one of you is a believer of the Evernight Goddess? He was almost certain that at least one of the three ladies believed in the Evernight Goddess. After all, among the people of Lowen and the residents of Backland, the standards for women and those who have been educated, these filtered out most of the believers of the other deities. I am, Shio said without hiding anything. Audrey raised her hand slightly. Seeing this, Olger nodded slightly. We can try to mislead someone and make it seem like the Church of the Evernight did something against Hive and Rambus, not the Terror Club. As he said this, Olger skillfully changed the pronoun he used to refer to the group. He was only invited to be a consultant and wouldn't actually be involved in the matter. He should have said, you should do this and that, but he had chosen to use we. Pushing the blame to the Church of Evernight, this line of thought seemed really familiar. Klein and his World German Sparrow manifestation suddenly found it amusing. Then how should the misdirection be done? Audrey's eyes shifted slightly as he hurriedly asked, Audrey looked around and said, Hyven Rambus only hypnotized you to not seek blessings and sit in the key spots at the Church of the Evernights Mass where you can be cleansed to a certain degree, but he didn't ask you to avoid the Church of the Evernights Archbishop. You can use this to create an opportunity to meet the Archbishop. Of course, there's no need to say anything. This way, when Hyven Rambus dies or vanishes, the psychology alchemist will be probably suspect that the Church of the Evernight had detected something wrong with you and had set up a trap. Without waiting for Miss Justice to respond to her look and shield, after you're hypnotized, but before you leave Backland, head to the nearest church of the Evernight God and pray seriously. Act like a spy sent by the Church of Evernight to infiltrate the Terror Club. This will misdirect the psychology alchemist into believing that the matters pertaining to Hyven Rambus were done by the Terror Club, but was in fact a smokescreen. The true mastermind behind all of this is the Church of the Evernight. Damn, that's fucking cunning, dude. Damn, okay? Acting like a spy in the Terror Club that was sent by the Church of the Evernight, well, Klein felt a little guilty. He was a genuine bless of the Evernight, and Leonardo was a genuine Rick Love. It should be said that the Terror Club's Conveneer and host Mr. Fool also draws a crimson moon on his chest. Klein muttered in amusement and helplessness. As a result, he was also rather inspired. This can only fool typical Beyonders. Without the blessings of Mr. Fool's angel, the higher-ups of the psychology alchemists can easily figure out the truth, Ketlia reminded. The hangman replied, so the main point is that we should be indirectly blessed by Mr. Fool, otherwise it would be impossible for us to deceive the spectator pathway kings of angels Adam. Also, Miss Magician and Miss Judgment, when you pray at the Cathedral of the Evernight Goddess, it is best if you pray to Mr. Foy and get his help in extracting yourself from the hypnosis and not immediately leave Backland. Under such circumstances, Backland is safer than anywhere else. Alright, she'll replied seriously. Seeing that the discussion had reached this point, Audrey and the others all looked towards the world, Gurman Spur awaiting his response. Klein's thoughts had already taken shape. He deliberated for a moment and then laughed hoarsely. Actually, there are simpler ways to interfere. What methods are there? Audrey's eyes widened as she asked with concern. Klein looked at Miss Justice and pointed at the top of his head. Once Hyven Rambus leaves, burn that hat accessory and trigger the charm I gave you. The feather hat accessory, I forget it has a feather. The feather hat accessory, the hat accessory can also get a so-called response from death. Mr. World hopes to get his existence to disrupt the divination, attention, and prophecy. Audrey's green eye sparkled as she nodded and thought, I know what to do. When that happens, the response would be the power of concealment. This way, no matter what happens, Adam can only assume that the goddess has interfered, believing that she has blessed the Hall family and has nothing to do with the Terror Club. I wonder if the goddess will send Mam Ariana. That way, finishing off Hyven Rambus will be made very simple. If not, I'll give myself Angel's Embrace ahead of time and use my marionettes, which are dead. That will result in a high chance of victory. Klein mumbled inwardly without saying anything else. Just as Audrey quickly completed her plan, doing so as though she was talking to herself, and she spoke to Shion Force. Visit me on Wednesday afternoon. This way I'll have a chance to see the Church of the Evernights Archbishop in advance. I'll pray to Mr. Fool for him to provide his angelic blessings. That way I won't be hypnotized by Hyven Rambus. Okay, so we can avoid that again. When I meet him, we'll act once he leaves. Hyven Rambus is a cautious and conservative person. He should continue choosing to meet on the way to prevent himself from being caught or fall into a trap. Soon, amidst the discussions of the other members of the Terror Club, the plan was complete. The world Gurman Sprouse declined Catlia's suggestion of providing help. After all, he couldn't guarantee the powerhouses from the Church of the Evernight would be involved. Mr. E is trying his hardest to understand. Yo, that thumbnail whiplashed me. I'm regretting it. As for the payment, all the spoils, but we're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it. As for the payment, all the spoils would belong to the world, and we definitely got a new custom emote, I'll tell you that much. As for the payment, all the spoils would belong to the world. Audrey would provide him with a free help commission according to his request. On Wednesday afternoon at Viscount Glant's residence, after returning to the Turf Club, Audrey, who was wearing a simple white dress, shirt, and a pair of pants of the same bright leather boots, and a black leather jacket that clung to her waist, stood inside the Viscount study and looked at Shion Force, who got Jude to investigate Viscount Stratford and pursue the king's secret. Her green eyes were like an ancient pool of water in a deep mountain. It was quite deep and clear, making one unknowingly sink into it. At this moment, Shion Force were really hypnotized. The former answered in the daze, "It was me. I'm investigating the cause of my father's death. However, I do pray to a particular existence to bless me." Audrey asked a few more questions and received a satisfactory answer. Then she said with a gentle voice, "Leave Backland and leave this place. You don't belong here, all right? You'll wake up when you hear me clap." The moment she said that, Audrey clapped her hands and saw Shion Force's eyes regained their clarity. After exchanging a few more pleasantries, Shion Force bade her farewell and left. Audrey began to wait patiently. She planned to stay inside of Viscount Glaine's residence for another half hour. She was waiting for Shio to enter the nearest Evernight Goddess Cathedral and finish her prayers before heading elsewhere. This way, regardless of whether Hyven Rambus appeared en route or elsewhere, she would be prepared. Picking up the lady's bonnet with a white feather accessory, she's going to use it right away. Audrey walked out of the study, planning to meet with Susie and Annie first before chatting with Glaint to kill time. I thought I said to kill him. Like, no, we're not going for Glaint. Okay, to kill time. Thank you, time. She had just taken 2 steps when she heard a gentle and smiling voice. Well done. Audrey's pupils dilated as she hurriedly turned her head, only to see a silver-haired man standing next. It's Hyven, right? Music change? Already? To what? Well, wait, what are we playing? What are we playing? Is fight time? Walls closing in? I literally already have it. How'd I know we were playing that today? How'd I know? I have it right here. Let me refresh. Fucking YouTube. Come on. YouTube. Oh my god, YouTube. There you go. I got you, Cammy. You see, look, I already have the music ready. How'd I know? It's always walls closing in. How'd I know, dude? Audrey's pupils dilated as she hurriedly turned her head, only to see a silver-haired man standing next to an elegant wall lamp rack. His eyes were light blue and his clothes were neat. He was none other than Hyven Rambus. I feel like we're fighting a little too early now. I feel like there should have been another chapter set up. This demigod was actually waiting for Viscount Glaine's residence for Audrey to complete the hypnosis and receive the answer. At this moment, Shio's and Force probably hadn't walked out the main door, so they're still inside. This was completely outside of Audrey's expectations and the hangman analysis. This meant that Hyven Rambus was present, so there was no need to question the target through Audrey. Being in the vicinity and personally hypnotizing them was just as dangerous. Next chapter. Okay. Look at that. I'm doing this quickly. Fuck. Shit. I didn't do the first chapter. Okay. We're gonna gauge it. Hold up. Let me do it. Fuck. I didn't do the timestamp for 10:48, but it's okay. It's the first chapter. It was the first chapter. So I'm going to just gauge it for like 1 minute, and then I'm going to have to go back later and kind of like actually update it properly. Okay, 10:48. Wait, no. Shit, I did the timestamp for 10:47. Wait, oh my god, look, I'm fucking up. Now, okay, let's do 10:48. Beautiful. Okay, and we did 48, and now we do 10:49. Okay, we got it. We're good. False alarm. Well, I mean, the timestamp is wrong, but it's okay. 12:13. All right, next chapter. I was about to say 10,000. I'm a little off. As I say, I'm a little off. Let me kind of center my camera a little bit more. Oh, look, you can see the button up I used for the suit and tie. Chapter 1049 is called Spectator's Intuition. How did this happen? Even if Shio and Force didn't meet with any delays en route and maintain a relatively fast speed, it would take at least 15 minutes to arrive at the nearest Evernight Cathedral. Luckily, I was cautious enough and had prayed to Mr. Fool for an angelic blessing ahead of time. I also actually hypnotized Shio and Force, and an upheaval of thoughts instantly ran through her mind before she rapidly suppressed them. At first, she looked confused, and then her look wore a look of realization. It was as she had finally woken up from her long dream and remembered the things that had been neglected. Let me lower my volume down a smidge for me on my end. Okay. I'm going to lower it for me, then I'm going to raise it for you guys. Yeah, there you go. I'll lower it for me and I'll raise it for you guys. There you go. All right. Awesome. Perfect. Mr. Rambus, why are you here? Audrey made her voice sound ethereal as though she was still in a dreamy stupor. As she spoke, she made use of the control of her emotions and psychiatrist to make an unavoidable hint of an anxiety flash with her mind, doing so without causing any abnormalities. This unexpected turn of events made her unsure of how to proceed. Without a doubt, she understood that she had the first deal with Hyven Rambus' subsequent questions so that the demigod wouldn't suspect anything. Oh, wow. Now the volume is too low. Wouldn't suspect anything. However, if that was the case, he would leave in 3 to 5 minutes after he was done asking. As for Shio and Force, they definitely wouldn't have entered that Evernight Cathedral yet. This inhibited the step needed for the misdirection, and when the time came, igniting the hat accessory and summoning the world easily exposed flaws in the handling of matters in the end. They wouldn't be able to completely fix the inherent problems. Oh, so okay. So I feel like Hyven has the upper hand here. No, I'd rather miss this opportunity than proceed with the plan without being fully prepared. Patience, tolerance, and caution are the key in the mysterious world. At the very least, Hyven Rambus will be making use of me for a long period of time and not directly harm me. He wishes that I marry with some prince, and this process will take more than half a year. I still have plenty of time. I can wait for a second, third, or even a fourth or fifth opportunity. The only problem is that I need to have plenty of time. I can wait for the second, third, or even a fourth or fifth opportunity. I just reread that. The only problem is that I need to inform Shu and Force to get them to really hide as quickly as possible. Audrey quickly came up with a decision as her eyes restored to normal while showing hints of wariness and fear. After observing her reaction and hearing her questions, Hyven Rambus smiled and said, "This should be your first time hypnotizing someone, and I was worried that an accident would happen, so I specifically came here to wait." Given your background, you don't usually have the chance to do this. His voice was gentle and laced with concern. It made the wariness and fear in Audrey's eyes subside bit by bit, but in Audrey's mind world, she once again felt her consciousness being split apart. Some of them were raised, looking down at the island and the sea. Old man, it is weird. He is grooming an 18-year-old into marriage with nobles gone wrong. It's not a little weird. It's pretty fucking weird. This made her clearly realize that her fond feelings and sense of security that she had just felt were all artificial. Seeing that Audrey had returned to normal, Hyven Rambus nodded and said, "How did they answer your questions just now?" Audrey honestly said, "She said that the investigation of Viscount Stratford and the pursuit of the king's secret was also of her own will. She was very suspicious about the death of her father. Her father was the former captain of the Royal Guards, Earl Mason Dury. However, she mentioned that her actions were blessed by certain existence." As she answered, Audrey almost stopped talking. This was because her spirituality high in the sky was looking down at herself on the island of consciousness in the spiritual sea. She saw a figure rising up from the bottom of the sea, and that's like her second half telling her to stop. Up from the bottom of the sea, as if the following up steps that appeared, passing through the subconscious realm and landing on her body, heart, and mind. I forget, this is the whole thing. On her body of Heart and Mind's island. The figure was wearing a black three-piece suit with a head full of silver hair. It was none other than Hyven Rambus. So now he's in her... Okay, now he's in her island. There wasn't a hint of smell of Hyven Rambus' face. He had an extremely sinister air, and a part of his skin was covered in grayish-white scales. The fuck? What form is this? Not only did his eyes turn from pale to golden, they also turned vertical, looking like a particular animal. It's like a fucking... Oh, it's his mythical form? It's like his dragon form? Okay, it's really badly worded. It's a little bit. Wait, what was... Just a little bit. If it weren't for the fact that she had experienced something like this before, just an intense level of nervousness she currently felt might have prevented Audrey from acting as though she hadn't noticed anything while ensuring that she didn't stop speaking or end the stammering. In the real world, Hyven Rambus smiled as she looked at Audrey's pretty face and asked further, which existence's blessings? Audrey shook her head at the island as the consciousness began to change. When this matter was raised, Shu and Force became very resistant. They were signs of escaping the hypnosis, so I didn't dare continue asking. Of course, the blessings of a particular existence could be explained at Mr. Fool's attention, and it could also be understood as the goddess. The lucid Audrey muttered silently under the spiritual sky. Hyven Rambus continued to circle around the questions and ask about the details of the hypnosis. After 2 to 3 minutes, he nodded satisfactory and said, "Not bad. You do have a gift in hypnotizing people. When the recent events come to a close, I will give you the Dreamwalker potion and personally host a ritual for you. Oh yes, don't reject love and marriage too much. You're not even 20 years old, and it's the perfect time to pursue such matters. Your charm is enough to gain everyone's affection and enjoy their attention." Hyven Rambus used an indirect hint and guidance to lower Audrey's resistance towards love and marriage. This detestable guy. Audrey puffed up her cheeks under her spiritual sky and muttered resentfully. She then controlled herself to reveal some shyness and longing. Hyven Rambus didn't expect to succeed by simply following a logical process. Seeing this, he retracted his invading consciousness and allowed him to leave the island. He turned around and said, "Forget what I just said. They're all spontaneous thoughts from your heart. After I leave this place and disappear from your sight, you'll forget that I was here." Upon hearing this, Audrey under spiritual sky couldn't help but heave a sigh of relief. This meant that Hyven Rambus was about to leave. All right, good. Even though it had only been 5 minutes since his appearance, making it insufficient for Shu and Force to enter the nearest Evernight Cathedral, Audrey was still eager for Hyven Rambus to leave as soon as possible. To face off a demigod of the spectator domain was unimaginably stressful. There's still a chance after this. As long as I maintain my consciousness, there will be a chance. Audrey, don't be depressed. Don't be impatient. Audrey silently consoled herself as she watched Hyven Rambus turn around and walk towards the hall. She didn't relax and didn't breathe. She tried her best to maintain her normal state. Suddenly, Ivan Rambis stopped in his tracks and turned around. He narrowed his pale blue eyes and looked at Audrey. Why were you scared when you first saw me? Oh, shit. Now he's sensing something. I was too surprised at the time, so I didn't manage to hide some of my emotions well. Audrey felt her scalp tingle under her long blonde hair. As her thoughts whirled quickly, she asked, puzzled, really? Isn't this normal? Someone suddenly appeared beside me. A brief shock is inevitable. Ivan Rambis nodded. As if agreeing with the explanation, he sized up Audrey and suddenly said, you used to carry a mystical item that can change one's form with you as an accessory. Why didn't you wear it today? To a spectator, this detail was an abnormality. Oh no, I've been hiding lie beneath my clothes most of the time. How did he notice that I wasn't wearing it this time? He has secretly read some of my memories. Oh shit. So wait, not only is he like trying to like hypnotize her without knowing, he's able to read her memories. He has secretly read some of my memories and she doesn't even know that. Memories that I didn't protect to appear normal. Faced with Ivan Rambis' question, Audrey felt her thoughts stagnate. Oh, what the fuck? So there's shit that even she hasn't been able to ward off. Oh, a good thing is just that and not the fucking Terror Club. Okay. The reason why she wasn't wearing lie was simple. She was afraid that the accessory would amplify her emotions, preventing her from being able to completely hide her true thoughts when facing a demigod from a spectator pathway. This meant that she had predicted that she would meet Ivan Rambis today. This was something that shouldn't have happened under normal circumstances. Oh, fuck. This is getting a little sweaty. In the blink of an eye, Audrey grabbed onto an idea and smiled blankly. It will amplify my emotions and reduce the success rate of hypnosis attempt. I removed it in advance to avoid any accidents. Ivan Rambis nodded and said, so that's the reason. Just as Audrey was feeling a little relaxed, this spectator pathway's demigod suddenly narrowed his eyes. Oh shit, he's onto something. If it's just this matter, there's nothing worth suspecting. But compared to when you saw me, the fear that slightly exceeded normal limits seems to imply something. Oh shit. As he said that, Ivan Rambis' light blue eyes turned vertical and was quickly dried with the color of gold. The two golden vertical pupils clearly reflected Audrey's imagination in the writer's attire. With a buzz, Audrey's thoughts became extremely muddled. Only her under the spiritual sky barely remained conscious. The surface of her spiritual sea surrounded the island, surged with waves enveloping it. At the same time, the sinister look, Ivan Rambis returned to the island and stopped beneath the sea surface. Oh, so he went back in, allowing patches of grayish-white dragon scales to fly into the foundation of the island where most of the human consciousness lay. Let me loop the song. I didn't loop the song. Consciousness lay. I lost my place. Flying foundation conscious lay. Okay, found my place. You can't hide anything from spectator. It's scary, man. Yeah, it's scary, dude. We can't hide anything. Audrey suddenly felt her thoughts twist, prompting her to say everything, confessing all her secrets. Relying on the lucidity of herself under the spiritual sky, she barely controlled herself and didn't reveal anything. She also knew that there would definitely be problems if this continued, so she quickly diverted some of her thoughts and said, relying on an angelic blessing and her consciousness preventing Ivan Rambis from noticing it. Some of those thoughts included reaching her hand into her left pocket. Just then, Ivan Rambis, who had invaded her mind world, looked increasingly sinister as he snorted. There really is a problem? Oh, shit. Okay, no wonder we're playing walls closing in, so there's going to be more to it. If there wasn't a problem, Audrey would have started with the most important matters, revealing all her secrets and private matters one by one, instead of staying silent. Likewise, since the manipulation attempt happened so quickly, Audrey didn't have the time to sort out all her secrets. Even if she wanted to hide anything, her lucidity would be discovered the moment she spoke. After confirming that something was off, Ivan Rambis didn't hesitate any longer. His gaze turned extremely cold and grayish-white scales covered his skin. The storm in the spiritual sea suddenly intensified, and Audrey, who was under the spiritual sky, staggered. The last bastion of the defenses of her consciousness was rapidly weakening under the repeated attacks, putting it on the verge of shattering. Humph. Ivan Rambis increased the force of the mind storm once again, feeling satisfied that Audrey's entire island was shaking. This meant that he was about to completely control her. At this moment, he heard an ancient word, fate. Oh, shit, here we go. In the world, Ivan Rambis looked in surprise. All he saw was that Audrey's green eyes were dyed with the brightest, the most dazzling gold. So she used the item. Okay, wait, so we're calling Klein, right? That's what it was? Wait, no. Fate. Let me go back. Fate. That's not the feathered hat charm. A fate charm? Is it a fate charm? So, wait, so she's sapping her fate? Wait, how the fuck does sapping it help you? Wait, or is he... No, she's sapping Ivan's. Well, let's keep reading. Hold up. What? I'm trying to remember who we're sapping. Audrey reversed the fate. Now it's her... So when you use the fate siphon charm If he's using his hypnosis abilities, it inverts. So now rather than him controlling, it's him being controlled? Okay. Sorry, sometimes just the word fate throws me off sometimes. I thought it would just mean like he wouldn't be able to control her. Like, oh, like his hypnosis would fail rather than now it's her controlling him. That's fucking badass. Okay, let's fucking keep reading, dude. Another new milestone. Chapter 1050. So she siphoned her own fate and threw it to him. So she is siphoning her fate. Got it. Okay. All right, next chapter. Let's update this. 1050. Timestamp. 23 minutes. After this scenario, I'm going to quickly finish my sandwich. But we're going to quickly get through this fight. And then I'm a fucking speed eat the shit. Chapter 1050 is good at using hypnosis. As the ancient Hermes' words resounded, the area where Audrey and Hyvis Rampus stood dimmed. It was as if someone had passed by, blocking the window the closest to them, then quickly left. By the time the light returned, the island filled with terrifying minds stormed into the illusion world had transformed from Audrey's to Ivan. Okay, so it transformed from Audrey to Hyven Rambus's. Okay, so the island is now Hyven's. The person that had intruded on the other party's body of heart and mind went from Hyven Rambus to Audrey, Fate, Siphon Charm. This was made using a worm of time as a material. Using the fullest power this charm was created, it could siphon off a corresponding target and subsequent fate for a short period of time, exchanging the corresponding fate with the user. Okay, so rather than him hypnotizing, now he is hypnotized. It was a consultation fee Audrey had received from Grim Sparrow after she treated Hazel's mental breakdown. With the corresponding charm, she could divert her future of having her consciousness defenselessly broken and losing control over her thoughts to Hyven Rambus. She then siphoned off her mind storm from him and opened her target's door to the body of heart and mind. She then directly altered the planted the corresponding consciousness fate. In an instant, the situation reversed. Audrey went from the edge of collapse to gaining the absolute advantage. Of course, this advantage could only last for a short period of time. Frankly speaking, if it weren't for her imagining how she could save herself in a desperate situation, Audrey definitely wouldn't have thought of using the Fate Siphon Charm, or it could be said that by the time she thought of it, it would be too late. Oh, you think it and it's too late? At this moment, just like how she had practiced in countless times in her mind, she suppressed her surprised emotions from the effects of the Fate Siphon Charm and quickly confirmed her condition. With her current advantage, she made the hypnosis and the Mind Storm swirl together, instantly opening Hyven Rambus' door to the body of heart and mind. Yes. You're controlling me? No, I'm controlling you. Hyven Rambus was instantly dumbfounded, as if he was an ordinary person whose attention had been diverted to Audrey's golden eyes and thus fall under her hypnosis. Yes, at this moment, as a demigod the spectator pathway, he had been controlled by Audrey, who was only a sequence 6. This way, even if the effects of the Fate Siphon Charm came to an end, it wouldn't change the development in the real world. However, Audrey knew that with the help of the magical charm, she was using Hyven Rambus' powers to open the door of his body of heart and mind and achieve initial control. Whatever she wanted to do later would definitely be rejected by him, and with her sequence level, she had no means to resist or control such intense power. Furthermore, did I update? Yes, I updated. Furthermore, she could clearly sense that Hyven Rambus was subconsciously resisting his current state. In the real world, a small amount of gray scales began to appear on his face. In no time, he would be able to forcefully extract himself from the state of his initial control over his mind. A realization flashed across Audrey's mind. She then cast her gaze towards Hyven Rambus' head, feeling a little regretful that she didn't carry a powerful revolver with her. I cannot see her shooting again. Otherwise, she could take this opportunity to shoot at him several times in a row in an attempt to kill him. Soon she recalled that she had the dragon skill. She believed that Hyven Rambus definitely had it, and that it was even stronger. It wasn't something an ordinary attack could tear through. Even most mystical items that were in the mid or low sequence couldn't do so. And if she couldn't kill him in one shot, Hyven Rambus would definitely be able to use this opportunity to regain consciousness and escape her control. Without any hesitation, Audrey, who lacked the appropriate offensive abilities, quickly came to the decision: hypnotize him. Audrey with a revolver executing people is peak fiction. I want to see that, dude. We still have like 3-4 more volumes for that to happen. He's best at hypnotizing and is very resistant against it. So he wouldn't prepare any additional items that can affect his defenses, and I can't let him do anything that will be against his will. With our differences in levels, I definitely can't resist the corresponding subconsciousness resistance he put up. His thoughts ran through Audrey's mind as she prepared her slightly parched lips. Okay, we're good. We're good. Sorry, I forgot to put something away. She tried hard to not show any signs of abnormality as she looked into Hyven Rambus's eyes and said in a gentle voice, "Find a spot inside Glaine's mansion and wait. Find me in the garden 15 minutes later." Such a subconscious thought didn't stir any obvious signs of being rejected. Therefore, Audrey was able to complete her control rather smoothly. To Hyven Rambus, who was indeed looking for Audrey today at the venue for meeting was also Viscount Glaine's mansion. Audrey's hypnosis was simply changing the corresponding time and place, and the discrepancies were just in a very small aspect. It matched Hyven Rambus's thoughts and didn't waste too much of his effort. Therefore, she didn't encounter any intense resistance. All right, Hyven Rambus responded to Audrey's words. Audrey didn't care to let out a sigh of relief. She focused and continued looking into the other party's eyes. She gently said, "You will only come looking for me in 15 minutes, so you haven't seen me today. Since you haven't seen me, everything that happened just now definitely didn't happen. They will be forgotten." You did not see anything. They will be forgotten. As Hyven Rambus had accepted hypnosis, he followed the logical train of thought. Although there was resistance, this wasn't anything intense. Soon the golden light disappeared from those alluring eyes. "Yes, I haven't seen you before. Nothing happened just now," Hyven Rambus repeated with a blank expression. The grayish-white scales on the surface of his skin had increased significantly again. After completing this crucial step, Audrey resisted the urge to pat her chest and thought for a second. "When you hear me singing, it will become quiet." She wanted to hypnotize him with her charm, but she realized that she wasn't able to take on a seductive pose, and she couldn't make the corresponding expression. She could only lift her hand to comb her blonde hair and tilt her head. Then the ripples in her eyes swirled as her smile beamed. Following that, she hummed a melody, "Manor Under the Moon," in a nasal voice. Hyven Rambus looked at the girl in front of him, who looked as beautiful as sunlight, flowers, and gems. Listening to the ethereal voice, his mind gradually turned silent as he no longer had any resistance. Seeing that her initial control was about to be released, Audrey didn't hesitate and pointed to the other side of the corridor. "Go over there. You will regain the consciousness and dispel dragon scales when you see the stained glass." She knew very well that on the other side of the corridor there was exquisite white stained glass. This order didn't pose any danger, nor did it violate Hyven Rambus' will. He immediately took a step forward, walked down the corridor, and turned right. Only when his back disappeared from her sight did Audrey slowly exhale, allowing the fear, alarm, and anxiety to surge into her heart. Her body trembled slightly as she opened her mouth slightly. She couldn't help but gasp and exhale. 10 seconds later, Audrey used placate on herself and calmed herself down. Oh, Audrey? Yeah, dude. Then she glanced at the wall clock and stood there, raising her hand and placing them in front of her mouth and nose, reciting Mr. Fool's honorific name in a low voice. She prayed for an angelic blessing again and requested this great existence to tell the world Gurman Sproul she had confirmed when Hyven Rambus would arrive and would summon him 2 minutes ahead of time, allowing him to arrive at the appropriate moment. There was no need to be in a rush or to be too close to prevent Hyven Rambus from being aware of an ambush. What is this guy's name? Klein's Toes? I didn't read the whole thing just in case it was a spoiler, but that's a funny name, Klein. During this, is that like another persona of yours, Klein's Toes? During this process, Audrey only briefly mentioned what happened. She didn't elaborate on it to prevent wasting any time. Following that, she raised her hands and pressed her cheeks, completely restoring her expression to normal. She began hypnotizing herself, allowing herself to sing the melody of the moment she saw Hyven Rambus. After doing all this, Audrey went to the main hall and first found the golden retriever. Susie then retrieved the line necklace, and the alcohol nemesis diamond brooch. The latter, which could resist any mental influence, could only be worn for half an hour. Otherwise, the damaged one's liver and brain suffered would be irreversible. Therefore, Audrey prepared to wear them again after she left Glaine's residence to prevent Hyven Rambus from finding her midway. Susie didn't notice anything amiss with Audrey as she watched her wear the brooch and necklace. After a few minutes, Audrey folded a black fishnet glove into her equestrian pocket and used the excuse of going to the washroom, making a detour to Viscount Glaine's gardens. Where's Force Toes? We'll get those soon, hopefully. Knock on wood. Then she looked at the large clock hung up in a attached tower, her mind tensing up as she memorized the time. To her, she was afraid that Hyven Rambus wouldn't come, but she would also be worried that he might come early or late. Time passed by slowly, and Audrey used placate twice to calm himself down. When there was still 2 minutes and 15 seconds left, she took off the feather accessory on her hat and flicked her wrist. The scarlet flame soared, igniting the white feather. This was Lai's flame controlling ability. As the flames burned, they turned pale. In just 2 or 3 seconds, the feather, which was a product of artificial death, was reduced to ashes. Nothing happened around her. Looking at the clock, Audrey took out a charm made of tin and reciting a world in ancient Hermes lighting. The charm lit up as though many tiny electric snakes were entangled with it. It was a charm that summoned Germansborough. When the lightning dissipated, the charm completely disintegrated and melted into the void. However, there was still silence without so much as a sound. Shu and Forrest should have found a church of the Evernight Cathedral and begun praying. Audrey calmed down and pretended to enjoy the flowers of the remaining autumn days. She didn't lift her head to look at the large clock, counting the time in her heart. 3, 2, 1. She slowly raised her hand and looked around, but she didn't see Ivan Rabbis. He discovered something strange and distanced himself from this place. Audrey's heart tightened as she couldn't help but think back to what she had missed. At that moment, she heard a gentle voice. "What are you looking for?" Audrey's pupils dilated from the corner of her eye. She realized that the silver-haired, blue-eyed Ivan Rabbis had appeared beside her at some point in time, and a hint of suspicion hidden in his voice. Having already hypnotized herself, she didn't hesitate at all. She followed her subconscious and started humming the melodic manner under the moon. Amidst the... Oh, so this is her singing. Amidst the ethereal voice, Ivan Rabbis calmed down and listened attentively. Okay, so this is him listening to the cue. Suddenly, he realized that the distance between him and Audrey had become very far, despite them remaining in their respective spots. The dark night enveloped the garden despite it being late in the afternoon. A huge crimson moon rose over the top of the building as a figure stood there, wearing a black trench coat and a half-top hat. His face looked hazy due to the backlighting. Next chapter. Going straight next chapter. All right. Timestamp? Before I forget, timestamp. 33 minutes. 58 seconds. Bro, is aura farming again? Who? The what? The Dark Knight? Fuck shit, man. That's a good movie. I've been rewatching Nolan movies right now. I rewatched Mementos. I rewatched Inception and Interstellar. The goal is to watch them all. I'll be honest, I probably will rewatch everything again in chronological order before the Odyssey comes out, because I am excited to watch that. By the way, where's my book? Give me a sec. Oh, I have it right there. Tonight? Tonight? What's tonight? Here we go tonight. Hell yeah, we're going today. Have you watched the video I sent? I have it on my watch later, Sonny. If you want, after we're done reading, we can watch it together, if that's cool with you. Yeah, if you want, after I still have it on my watch later. I still have it up on YouTube. Here, hold up. Before I start reading, let me just open up the video so I don't forget. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Let me open up the video. I have it on my watch later. It's at the top of my watch later. I have it right here. Shadow Slave review. No, he wanted me to watch a Shadow Slave review. Don't worry, it's not a spoiler. It's only a 3-minute video, but I'll watch it after we're done reading since I'm already recording this part. I got you, though. I got you, Sonny. I got you. I got it right here open. I got you. I probably will be reading more either tomorrow morning or tomorrow night. Maybe tonight, if me and the missus don't do anything. I don't know if I'll do it. No, I need to, after this video, I'll just do the review, because I do need to delete all my old videos, because the main file is like 40-50 gigs of video. But if I just download the YouTube rip at like 1080p, it's like 2 to 5 gigs. So the file size is a lot smaller, so I need to do that. But I'll watch the review right now after. All right, chapter... I was about to say 10,000 again, dude. Why do I keep doing that, man? Chapter 1051, different styles of different pathways. Different styles of different pathways. Upon seeing this scene, Ivan Rabbis immediately extracted himself from the state of calm, clearly aware that he had fallen into a trap. He also further realized that he was already under some sort of influence. Without any hesitation, he arched his back and his body swelled. His pupils turned vertical, turning from pale blue to golden. His face, then the back of his hand, and every inch of exposed skin grew grayish-white scales. Shit, dude. This is a good chapter. This is a badass fight. Yeah, we almost hit chapter 10,000 again, dude. Oh, my goodness. I don't know why I'm so excited to finish the series. I keep seeing chapter 10,000 and something. Amidst the screeching sounds, the white shirt, black vest, formal coat... Dude, thank you for subscribing. Formal coat and straight trousers that he wore tore apart, revealing the dragon scales beneath. And the blink of an eye, Ivan Rabbis has transformed into an abnormally massive monster. That is really dangerous. Is there any artwork on this? Aside from his head that remained in the form of a human, the rest of his body had changed completely. It was like a dragon that had yet to be fully evolved. What the fuck is this form? I can just imagine Adam's form, bro. It's gonna be so sick. The dragon's back was covered in gray-skinned wings, and oh my god, Susie is going to be able to do this. Susie is literally going to be a flying dragon dog. Also, Audrey. The dragon's back was covered in gray-skinned wings, and its limbs were thick. The grayish-white scales were engraved with complicated three-dimensional mysterious symbols. They extended into flesh, extending into the surroundings void. It seemed to be a mesh of objects that didn't belong to the real world. It threw anyone who laid their eyes upon it from suffering from a form of mental confusion as their thoughts warped. Even one spirit body would be tainted with all kinds of thoughts that came from deep within one heart, eager to rip apart the mutilate themselves. Susie on her smug heart. This was a Spectre of Pathway's incomplete mythical creature form. Fuck, man, that is so badass. That is such a crazy ass form, dude. For demigods of other pathways, those who weren't at Angel's level, they required immense willpower and firm beliefs to fight in their mythical creature form. I'm just a dragon instead of I'm just a dog. I'm just a dragon. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to control the madness and the inclination of losing control. There's a high chance of them immediately losing all rationality and transforming into a monster. It's kind of crazy how Spectator can kind of alleviate this form. However, the Spectator pathway was different. They had Placate, which because they're casting Placate on themselves. They had Placate, which could treat their minds and souls, so they weren't helpless towards the madness and inclination of losing control. Therefore, as long as the fight wasn't prolonged, they could use mythical creature form and return to normal at will. Fucking broken. Whoosh. All the thoughts in Hyven Rambus' subconscious domain bowled over as he turned. Identify the parts of his consciousness they had been altered, purging them out of the melting them down into nothingness. Whoosh. The violent wind surged around Hyven Rambus' grayish-white dragon avatar. It seemed to come from reality, but also seemed to come from an illusion world. They carried a certain will as they whirled in every direction, and any creature that was embroiled with the inevitability be placed into various abnormal states, stand rooted to the ground in a daze, or blindly escape towards the corners of the garden. There would be varied degrees of losing control as their knees would buckle before they slumped to the ground. Some would even faint immediately and fall into a coma. Otherwise, others would reveal their most fervent expressions, crowding around the dragon-like attendants. This was the qualitative change of Dragon Mind. They got lower attack power, so they balance with half mythical creature form. You know what? That's actually a pretty good balance. For not being able to have a lot of offensive abilities early on, they can at least placate themselves in their mythical creature form. So that is actually a good balance. You're right, Cammy. Fuck, you guys are so fucking spot on, man. You're right. Everything is always balanced out, man. So far, there hasn't been anything that's like been unjustified, if that makes sense. This was a qualitative change in Dragon Might, which stemmed from a mythical creature form. It went from its original state of placing others in a state of awe to mind deprivation, which was even more effective. Seizing the moment when Dragon Might swept the surroundings, Hyven Rambus focused and transformed into an illusionary, sinister version of himself. Through the sea of collective subconscious, which eluded most beyonders, he approached Gurman Spur on the rooftop and Audrey Hall by guarding periphery at high speeds. As a spectator, he could tell that the attacker was Gurman Spur just by seeing his face and temperament. At that moment, Audrey was mumbling to herself and compelled herself based on the discussion and warning from the two demigods. The world and the hermit above the great fog. I can't see anything. I can't hear anything. I can't see anything. I can't hear anything. Perfectly balanced. It's like Full Metal. So everything is like equivalent exchange. She was trying to avoid losing control from looking directly at Hyven Rambus' mythical creature form. Oh man, she's like hypnotizing. I can't see anything. I don't hear anything, dude. However, this also made her unable to see or sense them at a particular illusionary, sinister version of Hyven Rambus was approaching her body of heart and mind. It's a double-edged sword, but now he can't block her. Approaching her body of heart and mind from the sea of the Kleptis of conscience. But suddenly, before Hyven Rambus' eyes, the blonde, green-eyed girl island of consciousness disappeared. Audrey felt a warmth from her body as if she had returned from a cold, dark cave to the surface when the sun shined. She hurriedly dispelled the hypnosis and opened her eyes. The sun in the sky pierced through the cloud that couldn't be considered thin, scattering its resplendence bathed in the bright golden glow. Autumn flowers bloomed in silence. Everything was beautiful and peace. Audrey looked around blankly, but she didn't see Hyven Rambus, Gurman Sparrow, or the huge crimson moon. This made her feel like everything she had just experienced was a dream. What mighty powers! A battle between two demigods might not even harm a single flower. Audrey silently muttered to herself before calmly leaving the garden, retreating to the corridor that connected the garden to the house. She was afraid that her presence would affect Gurman Sparrow's fight. In the concealed world, one of Hyven Rambus' manifestations had also landed on Gurman Sparrow's island of consciousness under the crimson moon. Oh, you came to the wrong hood, dude. Just as he was about to set foot in and open the door to the body of heart and mind and control Gurman Sparrow's subconsciousness to make him do things against his own will, ain't gonna work. He realized that the illusionary island that stood in the sea of the collective subconscious was filled with a deathly silence. There was no stirring thoughts or appearance of a new thoughts. There was no way of influencing it. puppet marionette. Ivan Rambus instantly made a judgment combined with the information he had obtained in the past. He had a better grasp of German Sparrow's abilities. I wonder if we turn him into a marionette, would we be able to use him in this form? Wait, no shit. Of course we'd be able to use him in form. Of course we'd be able to use him in this form, right? He wasn't shocked or depressed. Instead, he felt a sense of glee and confidence. This was because for a demigod of the spectator pathway, he could easily tell the difference between a marionette and a true body, greatly mitigating German Sparrow's strongest ability. I don't know, man. We'll see about that. Besides, do you think a marionette can fool my mind invasion and control of one's consciousness? That sinister and illusory Ivan Rambus swept his golden vertical eyes and found a transparent passage of the marionette's island of consciousness. On the island of consciousness, it was the symbolic form of spirit body threads in the mind. Right on the heels of that, Ivan Rambus' figure flashed as he traced the transparent passageway and found another island of consciousness hiding in the distance. This was where the source of where the marionettes were controlled, which meant that it belonged to the actual body. Found you. Ivan Rambus snorted coldly as he conjured a terrifying mindstorm in the sea of the collective subconscious, allowing them to thrash about in German Sparrow's island of consciousness over and over again. This caused the nearby weather to rapidly change, and the ability to perceive the surroundings via spirituality suffered an intense interference. Ivan Rambus took the opportunity to get close to German Sparrow's island of consciousness, and he conjured a grayish-white staircase in an attempt to... Oh, it's like the stairway to heaven, right? When he was above the great fog? Or like it looks like that, right? The like angelic staircase. And he conjured a grayish-white staircase in an attempt to furtively invade his opponent's consciousness. This was his usual style fighting. One stayed in the light while the other stayed in the dark. While one attacked head-on, the other sneaked in. With the two angels of attacks, it easily... I just spat on my mic. It easily broke the target's mental walls and allowed him to control his opponent's body of heart and mind, not German. At the same time, as a dragon avatar, he flew up and spiraled in midair. It affected German Sparrow with its dragon's might and breath, completed the battle on the consciousness level. At this moment, from deep within the sea of collective subconscious, Ivan Rambus had silently invaded German Sparrow's body of heart and mind, when all of a sudden he saw a boundless grayish white fog. All the sea of collective subconscious around the island had vanished. Oh, that is so cool, dude. Wait. We saw that in episode 1, dude. When Madame Dally was invading Klein's mind, we saw how, like, the gray fog was able to, like, conceal everything in his mind world, right? That's what that was in episode 1. Or at the end of... No, beginning of episode 2, ending of episode 1. And the islands had vanished. Ivan Rambus, Heart Titan. I just got up, and what's the thumbnail? It's a banger-ass thumbnail, Marilyn. That's what that is, dude. Ivan Rambus, Heart Titan, as he hurriedly analyzed his psyche, suspecting that he was under an illusion... However, no matter how he handled it, the grayish-white fog didn't change. Of course, there was no accidents or danger. It was as if it was just a simple background. That was pretty suspicious. Just as Ivan Rambus was preparing to stir a mindstorm here, the grayish-white fog finally dissipated, revealing the island of consciousness from before that belonged to German Sparrow. Ivan Rambus didn't have time to hesitate. He quickly entered the corresponding subconscious and attempted to change the target's thoughts. However, those thoughts were dyed with a bright light, a holy and majestic aura. It was unshakable and uninfluenced. This, Ivan Rambus instinctively looked up and looked towards the sea of consciousness. From the stone stairs that he was conjured on the other than the island itself, there was also a figure with 12 pairs of fiery wings, emitting golden light. It looked like a projection of an angel's powers. Man, some poor soul who forgot they subbed to you will get jump scared by it. Also change the writing to you got demoness instead of demon. Oh, I spelled it wrong. I'll fix it right now. Thank you. We'll literally fix it right in like a minute. I got you. There's like a page left. Thank you, Cammy. Good. Thank you. Good catch. Since he was planning on dealing with... You also reminded me... I spelled organ instead of origins. His origins, I put his organs. On the second and last video. Since he was planning on dealing with a demigod from Spectator Pathway today, Klein had no doubt used Angel's Embrace on himself. With the Red Priest level of importance, he directed the powers of the mysterious space above the Great Fog, allowing him to temporarily be unaffected when facing an incomplete mythical creature form. And the reason why he didn't show directly was that he's experimenting with a demigod. He was experimenting with Ivan Rambus. As Ivan Rambus attempted to invade his island of consciousness, his marionette, Conus Kilgore, distorted the target of this enemy locked onto, changing it from Klein's body of heart and mind to Klein's projection of the Great Fog. As a result, if Ivan Rambus found the island of consciousness in the Great White Fog, it meant that there was a being of unknown origin sleeping in the mysterious space. This meant that Klein had to be wary ahead of time. On the contrary, he could feel a little relaxed. Now, the wrong spelling on a character called Comment Bait. Oh, okay. This was something he had long wanted to test but didn't dare attempt because it might be dangerous. Today, he finally had a chance to do so. After all, even if there were any consequences, having Rammus would be the one dying and not him. He's so confident, man, fighting against a demigod now. He's the one dying, not me. It might even allow him to easily finish off a demigod, seeing that he was blessed by an angel and wasn't capable of breaking or infiltrating his opponent's body of heart and mind in a short period of time and extracting his consciousness on him. Having Rammus retreated without any hesitation, he left the area and returned to his mind world through the sea of collective subconscious. Then the massive dragons disappeared, disappearing into thin air, preventing Klein from even finding it via spirit body threads. Psychology invisibility. Hyven Rammus planned on using a psychological blind spot to hide in the darkness, then using the area of effect beyond the powers like mind deprivation and mind storm to allow to slowly weaken German Sparrow's angels' enhanced mental walls. He would attempt using his own sealed artifact to attack. As a demigod of the spectator pathway, although his dragon form was powerful at melee combat, it still lacked the necessary powers offensive beyond powers. It had made up. Oh, did I pause it? No, we're good. It had to be made up through certain sealed artifacts. At this moment, an illusionary book, layman's or which one? A book? At this, did we rent it out? At this moment, an illusionary book appeared in front of German Sparrow, who could be either the marionette or his actual self. Following that, there was an ethereal voice. I came, I saw, I record. Klein was using Lightning Storm, which had been recorded by Creeping Hunger. Oh, okay, it's Creeping Hunger. Got it. Creeping Hunger recorded. I came, I saw, record. Okay. So Creeping Hunger recorded. Oh, Creeping Hunger recorded. That's so funny. Creeping Hunger recorded the recordability. I came, I saw, record. From something like psychology invisibility, it could be easily resolved with a full area of effect bombardment. I really think Creeping Hunger and Layman's Travels are like the two best like sealed artifacts in the verse as of right now. Like off the top of my head, Creeping Hunger and Layman's Travels are the best items hands down, bro. I mean, yes, the quill, right? But like those are like the two badass items, bro. It's so cool, dude. It's like, thank you, Momo. Like by far, bro, it is so good. It has to be said that when dealing with Beyonder with such a fighting style, the Storm Pathway was a pretty good choice. Damn, man. All right, next fucking chapter. 3v1? Really? Who the fuck is the third person? What wasn't Alger gonna? No, Katlia. Weren't they trying to get Katlia to use teleport to get here? Oh, Katlia is gonna be using Layman's Travels. She teleports in and helps out. I think that's what's gonna happen because I think that's what they talked about on the last read through. All right, let's update and let's keep reading. And as I also say update, let me update the thumbnail. Give me 1 sec. Wait, hold up. Let me read your messages while we're updating all this. It's kind of funny. Please don't make fun of me how I update my stuff. I do all my updates. I mean, I do all my thumbnails on my phone through CapCut. So on CapCut, I just have one giant video composed of every single thumbnail I've ever done. And then I just screenshot it. Oh, I got a phone call. I think I have to do something right now. He called me 30 minutes ago. I might need a quick sec. Don't think it spoils. That's why I saw it here. All right, give me 1 sec. Let me open up CapCut. Oh my god, I almost deleted that. Let's go to thumbnails too. That is a way to do it. Yeah, I have everything on one file, and then I just scroll to the end, or I have everything on like one project. I did misspell Demoness. How am I spelling it? Instead of, also change the writing to you got Demoness instead of. Oh wait, it's Ness, right? Yeah. Shit, why'd I put an E? Demoness. Give me a sec. You know what? I'll even make the thing a little bit bigger. Then I screenshot it. And then let me update this. Oh, demonese? Demonese? Oh shit, I didn't even catch that. Yeah, you're right. It does sound like a language. Alright. Let's change from demonese to demoness. Let's do this. Okay, update this bad boy. Alright, this has now been updated. Freak autocorrect. All right, it's not important anyways. Demon S sounds. Well, it's alright. It's already updated. But that was a good catch, man. Thank you. All right, it's already been updated. Oh man, that is like such a crazy ass fucking thumbnail, man. I can't believe I did that. My girl did that for me, by the way. I am gonna practice off stream. All right, that's been updated. It's been good. But by the way, man, thank you guys. I know I didn't say it, but thank you, dude. I got a notification. 100,000 watch time hours. That's crazy. All right. This updated 152. Good. All right. Yeah. Hold up. Before I read. Yeah, dude. I'm telling you. Yesterday, YouTube told me you have over 100,000 hours in watch time. That means like you guys together have watched me in total for 100,000 hours. I'm just a dude recording from this room. You know. I'm just a dude reading and recording. It's so crazy, bro. And then it's like I look at the demographics and bro, there's literally people from all over the world. That is so fucking wild, man. Like holy shit, man. God bless all of you guys. That is, I mean, bless the fool, man. Like it is crazy. But that being said, next chapter, man. Chapter 1000 and then 52. I almost said 10,000 again. Chapter 1052 is called a 3v1, which we're suspecting Catlia joins. Boom. Lightning bolts descended from the sky, covering the entire area, illuminated by the huge crimson moon with silver. I gotta put on both earbuds now. This music is kicking in. Just don't fall in the PDF file pipeline. Every big YouTube. You know what's crazy? That you see that a lot. That is a no comment. We don't gotta talk about that, but that is a common thing that you see happen a lot. That is crazy. That's actually fucking wild, man. You see that shit pop up a lot. Nah, hey, Minecraft. You know what's funny? I was planning to make a Minecraft YouTube channel. Sorry, I'm a side tangent for a minute. My girlfriend knows. Hold up. My girlfriend knows someone that just uploads Minecraft videos and like they are living a good life. And I'm like how, what? And I'm like, we should start doing Minecraft on the side. Because if we start doing Minecraft on the side and the Minecraft channel blows up, shit, man, we quit our job and we do more of this. So it's technically a win-win. So we wouldn't necessarily be a Minecraft YouTuber. We'd be a secondary channel Minecraft YouTuber that we do on the side so we can quit our job. It's like a canon event. Wait, not the first part Cammy said. The Minecraft part. Wait, chill. Bro's fate almost went into abyss. Yo, guys, don't even joke about that. That's fucking scary, dude. That is wild. Did you guys see the Roblox video that Chris Chan made? It's somebody uploaded that on YouTube. Like, Roblox, let's sit down. Mine, yeah? That being said, let's keep reading. Oh, man, that was... What a tangent. What a tangent. Am I right, brothers? Let me find my place. Somewhere off. It was pretty terrifying. It's so stupid. Last 1 minute tangent. Like, how stupid is Roblox, bro? Roblox wants to add... No, they wanted to add a dating part into the game. I ain't watching anything from Chris Chan. Bro, it is crazy. No, not Chris Chan. Chris Hands. My bad. Not Chris Chan. Not Sonic Chew. Not the Sonic Chew, dude. Not the Sonic Chew shit. I don't know how the fuck that individual isn't locked up behind bars. But it's crazy. Roblox wanted to add like a dating thing in the game. Like are you stupid? Like, that is the most dangerous thing ever. And I knew somebody that played Minecraft, and her mom told me, like, this is really dangerous. She's talking to people I'm like, take this person's account and, like, help me, like, change the passwords. It was scary. And it is terrifying, like, how vulnerable people are on the internet now. And, like, how people take advantage of that. It is so fucking scary. It is traumatizing. That being said, let's get back to reading. It's crazy. This individual is married. She did that to his mom. and got away with it just because of like their state laws. It is so dumb. It is so stupid, man. It is so fucking obnoxious that like people can get away with that. Need to kidnap him for real? Definitely. Bots yeah, it's bad. All right, that being said, let's spam chat with some emojis and cleanse. Okay, we got to cleanse this part of the recording because I don't think YouTube is going to like me if this is on the video. Somebody start spamming test 1 2 3 as I bite my sandwich. Oh shit, yeah, that's wild. Well, that being said, we can resume that another day. Let me bite my sandwich. Spam, yes, spam the pregnant memes. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Spam. We're gonna start recording in like 10 seconds. Let me finish chewing. That being said, real talk is over. Chat. There you go. Chat. It's almost gone. It's almost gone. I almost see it. We're almost at the Merlin. We're almost there. Hold on. Okay, we're good. We've been cleansed. Chat has been cleansed. We're good. And now we get to reading. And not only the real OGs, you guys in chat had this conversation with me. And the fake OGs watching the videos, they won't know what we actually talk about. Now we're good. Now it's all sunshine. Yeah, now it's all sunshine. All right, let's get reading. All right. That's such a fucking good sandwich. I think this is good. If I space out my food, I think I'm able to stream a little bit longer and like be good and hyperactive. After this chapter, let me just do one quick phone call, okay? After this chapter, I'm gonna just do a phone call. I just need to call a person. It's a pretty good sandwich. Someone gave me Jersey mics. I've never had Jersey mics, but that shit is good. That shit is fucking good. All right, Hive and Rambus. The one thing I want to try is Sonic. I've never tried Sonic. I've seen a few like people eat Sonic and people say it's good. All right, obvious cracks. The giant grayish white dragon, which still had a human head, appeared again. There were tiny bolts of electric bolts scurrying over its scaled body. There was also some obvious cracks. For a demigod fight, I'm able to follow this pretty good. So I think I'm doing pretty good. Eat Sonic, leave him alone. Wait, no, the restaurant. I want to try the Sonic restaurant, you know, but I don't think there aren't that many in West Coast. Ivan Rambus's psychological invisibility couldn't be maintained under such a wide area of effect bombardment. After all, his interactions with his surroundings couldn't be avoided. All he could do was eliminate his sense of persistence and stay in the blind spot of one's attention. On the level of interaction grew extensive. He didn't have the means to avoid exposure. As soon as he appeared in the lightning storm, he calmed down quite significantly. The German spiral body of the roof instantly blurred and faced into existence diagonally below the incomplete dragon. Right on the heels of that, the glove of the crazy adventure's left hand protruded with the fine black particles that were deep and dark. Then he opened his mouth and said, as the world filled with foulness and corruption from the devil language, slow. Ivan Rambus knew that his opponent was using creeping hunger and knew that the true level of the items he found Grimsper amusing and was about to raise his left claw that grabbed onto the ice blue metal cylinder, slamming it down at his enemy beneath him. Damn. Hey, I got some beef with European restaurants, man. They don't have condiments, man. I'm gonna leave it at that. I bought fucking wings in Paris, and I'm like, you guys don't got ranch? And then I got fries. It's like, you guys don't got ketchup? It's like, what? And then there was no AC when I got home. I was like, oh, man, this is bad. But you know what? Those were the only 3 complaints I had when I was visiting. Europe, restaurant, fine dining, foreign experience, U.S. restaurants, Sonic goes burr. That being said, let's keep reading. This was, and everything else was beautiful. Those were my only 3 critiques. This was a sealed artifact with unknown origins called Rotting Meteor. Ivan Rambus, Rotting Meteor? Ivan Rambus had attained it from particular existence, and he was only aware that part of it came from the cosmos. What the fuck? Part of it came from the cosmos. The ice blue metal cylinder could fire special dark green bullets that would instantly poison anyone who was hit with it. They would begin rotting it in any way that even his spirit bodies wouldn't be spared. This was also effective against demigods. Its negative effects was that the wielder had a probability of gaining the attention of the cosmos and suffering the corruption without realizing it. If not for having the item sealed thanks to particular existence, Ivan Rambus definitely wouldn't have dared to carry it around, but even so, he tried to limit his usage of it. lest he suffered a strange death of abnormality. This was a common ending for many of the previous owners of the rotting meteor. Currently, Ivan Rambis didn't believe that the language of foulness, which was at most a sequence 5, could affect him in his incomplete mythical creature form. He planned on using Rotting Meteor to finish off the sealed artifact-equipped enemy that posed a threat. However, at this moment, his action had really slowed down and his entire body felt stiff. On the pitch-black roof under the gigantic crimson moon, another German Sparrow in a black trench coat and silk hat appeared at some point in time. Oh, okay. He had held a 6-barrel revolver in his right hand and aimed his left hand at German Sparrow beneath him before balling his fist and turning into his wrist. Damn, this is good, dude. Earl of the Fallen Magnify. This was Klein's other marionette, a demigod of the lower pathway, Conus Kilgore. Now, we're using him quickly. With the help of Magnify, Creeping Hunger could... Wait, I forget. Creeping Hunger has Magnify? With the help of Magnify, Creeping... Wait, no. Conus Kilgore is using Magnify. And he's amplifying Creeping Hunger. With the help of Magnify, Creeping Hunger could amplify the beyond powers it obtained from grazing souls, almost raising its level of Sequence 4. In other words, at the level of a demigod. Oh my god. So he's able to make the abilities... He's able to indirectly make the abilities strong. Demigod fights. I'm good. I got this though. I got this. Of course, I'm not lost in the sauce yet. Of course, Magnify could also be used consecutively in quick succession. It was limited to a one-time use each time. Oh, one-time use. Due to Ivan Rambis' current mythical creature form, no matter how magnified Slow was, it couldn't affect him for long. Therefore, it was German Sparrow who was actually Uni. German Sparrow was actually Uni who had to seize this short opportunity and curled Ivan Rambis' spirit by threads. Normally, wait, Uni is the one controlling Ivan Rambis' spirit by threads and not Klein himself? Crazy how the full pathway has no offensive, just a lot of puppets, and it's like, and he's so strong, and inadvertently he is so strong. Normally, he would take 3 seconds to attain initial control. However, his opponent had already revealed a powerful mythical creature form, and time would definitely extend the time required. It would take perhaps about 7 seconds, even more than 10 seconds to succeed. And by then, Ivan Rambis would long extract himself under the influence of Slow, restoring himself to normal, carrying out the corresponding countermeasures. At this critical moment, Conus Kilgore aimed his left hand at Winter Uni once again and clenched his fist. Another magnified. The control of the spirit body threads was magnified. Suddenly, Uni's control of Ivan Rambis' spirit body threads became easier, and the mythical creature form hadn't been revealed. In other words, he could obtain the initial control in 3 seconds. This was already rather formidable, but the problem was that the dragonfied Ivan Rambis wouldn't take more than a second to extract himself from the influence of Slow. That's what she said. No, he had already escaped. At this moment, there was a gunshot. A bullet that looked lustrous, deep and profound, but no dark, swiftly shot out with its many strange patterns and stuck Ivan Rambis, who had just escaped from his slow state. In another corner of the garden, another German Sparrow in a black trench coat and a silk top hat appeared. Ivan Rambis' dragon's body stirred once again. Not only did his thoughts come to a halt, even the wings of his back froze, and he had lost all his control of himself. The entire dragon collapsed to the ground. If he's collapsing, does that mean we've controlled him? He's using a control spirit bullet. I forgot we had those. Klein had used his Worm of Spirit as the material to contain the control spirit bullets made from the powers of the mysterious space above the Great Fog. It could even freeze sequence... It could freeze them. It could even freeze Sequence 3 Saints for 1 or 2 seconds. And Klein is... Even though Klein is the main character, he is actually the most badass Beyonder the entire verse. Like, when you read something, sometimes the main character isn't the most interesting character. It's like other characters. But in this series, like, the main character is actually, like, the most interesting character. Right? It's like sometimes you read something and, like, other characters are more interesting than the MC. And this one, the MC is the most interesting Beyonder. Like, all his abilities are, like, just so cool. It's just so... And then, like, he can just, like, inadvertently make all these items, like, outside of his pathway to, like, enhance his abilities. 10 out of 10. At that moment, Ivan Rambis, who had an incomplete mythical creature form, wasn't much stronger than the Sequence 3 Saint. Back when Amon's avatar was hit with a control spirit bullet, it had also froze for more than a second. In addition, Klein could also get Conus Kilgore to magnify the power of the bullet. However, to grab the opportunity, he had failed to do it in time. The string of team combinations attacks from before had already made Klein turn poignant, as obtaining the aid of a demigod from the lower pathway was terrifying. It was very effective. Of course, under normal circumstances, the Earl of the Fallen's Magnified could only amplify the effects and influence to strengthen one's bodies or actions without helping others. You can't help others, only yourself. However, the problem was that as marionettes with worms of spirit within them, they were without a doubt no different from Klein. He hadn't been augmenting others but himself. Seizing the opportunity of Hyven Rambus's falling into a state of paralysis, Winter Uni obtained initial control over the spirit body threads. The incomplete dragon had just ended its rigid state when its thoughts became sluggish. I just forgot. If we were to kill one of his marionettes, his soul would be fractured, right? Because all of his worms have a piece of him. Its movement had a certain delay. It had to be said that after Bizarre Sorcerer obtained a powerful marionette, they can unleash terrifying power through their cooperation with other marionettes. Klein also had a cheat-like method like control spirit bullets. This was something that could only be created by him because he was the only one who can stir the powers of the mysterious space above the Great Fog. I got you, Aish. We're reading it this weekend. We're gonna read it this weekend. So after I do this stream, I'm gonna finish after I do my Lord of the Mysteries read through. I'm gonna quickly watch the review that for Shadow Slave that Sunny sent a while ago, and then I'm gonna delete videos. And if I don't hang out with my missus tonight, I'll read more Shadow Slave off stream while the video's uploaded in like 3.5 hours. And over the weekend on Sunday, I'm gonna probably read more Soulforged, Omniscient Reader Viewpoint, and then Shadow Slave. That'll be for sure on Sunday. So I'm gonna do those 3 on Sunday, but I'll also try and read Shadow Slave tonight if I don't hang out with Mrs. And if I do hang out with her, then tomorrow morning I'll try and read more Shadow Slave on Saturday. That way I do Shadow Slave on Saturday and Sunday. Yeah. That's the plan. That is the plan. But Shadow Slave, Saturday would just be Shadow Slave and then mostly Lord of the Mysteries. But I think that's going to be the plan. Now, let me find my place before I continue reading. Having Rambus from Spirit Winter Uni. Yeah, he's still alive. Yeah, he's still alive. Hey, what's up, Unhinged? I hope you like the thumbnail. Shit. Oh, Oro V? Yeah, because I haven't read Oro V in a while. It's been 2 weeks, so I do want to read more. Seeing that Hyven Rambus had come under a certain level of control, Klein began preparing to disrupt any forms of resistance he tried putting up, preventing him from escaping from his current state until he became a marionette. However, at this moment, his head suddenly ached due to an intolerable mania in his heart. Then he became extremely down, as if he couldn't feel joy anymore. He despised himself and wished he could give up his life just like that so that he wouldn't be burdened on others. What the fuck? That is crazy. Oh, if you have some artwork, send it, dude. Yeah, send them. Send them on Discord. Yeah, for sure. If you have any Shadow Slave artwork, send it on Discord. Yeah, for sure. And in blink of an eye, he became excited. His eyes seemed to be blood red and filled with hatred towards anything, waiting to destroy everything he saw. Yeah, put it on the art section. I got you. Yeah, let me know. Not good. Before his mental state deteriorated, Klein realized that he had been influenced by Hyven Rambus. At some point in time, something was wrong with his body of heart and mind. He hurriedly attempted cogitate to fight against the abnormal mental state. However, various thoughts that didn't seem to belong to him flashed through his mind. Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, we're going to watch a review after. Let's end it here. Fuck, think of a way to save yourself. What exactly happened? I think I have a serious mental illness. A psychiatric disease that's contagious. That special mental illness that Miss Justice mentioned. This is indeed a high sequence beyond the power of the Spectre. I forgot about this. Wait, what? A mental cognition or like a mental disease that's contagious? Okay. Why are you saying so much? That's the demigod psychiatrist you're facing. Turning him into a marionette will easily resolve the problem. Realizing that German Sparrow hadn't shot the second bullet, Hyven Rambus's face, covered in grayish-white scales, revealed a faint smile. That's fucking scary, dude. Although he hadn't anticipated the tight cooperation between German Sparrow and his two marionettes. Oh, that's the 3v1. I thought Cat Leo was going to join. Oh, you have some artwork in your DMs? Bet. We'll check it. Causing him to quickly fall into a perilous situation. It wasn't like he hadn't done anything prior to this. Before he left the Sea of the Collective Subconscious, he had secretly planted contagious madness in a marionette. Damn. A marionette was, after all, a dead person, although it was unable to be controlled by other methods other than spirit body threads. It didn't mean that they didn't have an island of consciousness. They have one? Oh, even though they're dead? It was just a dead mass, but it was precisely here that Hyven Rambus buried a seed named Madness. The seed... Wait. He buried a seed of madness in his island of consciousness? The seed couldn't affect the marionette itself, but it could secretly infect the Sea of Collective Subconscious of its surroundings, causing the person who kept switching between bodies to unknowingly place themselves in an environment with a contagious mental disease. Also, this madness could also be transmitted via spirit body threads. Wait, it spreads through the threads itself? What the fuck, dude? These abilities are so fucking bombastic, bro. It's crazy, dude. In addition, this type of infection stemmed from oneself. It wasn't something an angelic blessing could screen. At most, it would be weakened and have the effects weakened. This was a high sequence spectator powers, manipulator's mental plague. In ancient times, there would be people from time to time who would place in repressed states for prolonged periods of time and appear abnormal at the same time. Their abnormality influenced people around them, causing mass hysteria to happen. An ancient folk song once sang off in such manners. Oh, and then the folklore song causes the mass hysteria. 7 young ladies are dancing weirdly on the street. 9 men are rolling on the ground, laughing by their sides. On a horse carriage passed by, the nobles are slapping their faces. The stone children are crying outside the house by the streets. People are hurting each other. The entire city is crazy. If one thought about it carefully, it would make one feel an inexplicable sense of horror. However, Hyven Rambus knew that the scene described in the myth was true. It was an experiment from a spectator pathway demigod, a high contagious mental plague. What a fucking ability. A mental plague. By the time German Sparrow's actual body went crazy, his control over his marionettes would undoubtedly be lost. When that happened, Hyven Rambus would be able to escape from his predicament. We can't let that happen. It wouldn't take long, as if one took a few seconds. At that moment, a manipulator like Hyven Rambus wasn't afraid that German Sparrow had the charm which Audrey had used the one that could temporarily swap fates between two people. This was because a swap would put Gurman Sparrow in a state of becoming a marionette. His thoughts would turn sluggish and his body would become stiffened. As for Ivan Rambis, being unaffected by the mental plague was a relatively simple problem for him to resolve. At this moment, Ivan Rambis saw Gurman Sparrow on the rooftop aiming his left hand at Gurman Sparrow, who was holding the iron black long-barreled revolver. He gripped his fingers and slowly turned his wrists. Distortion. Klein had used Conus Kilgor's Beyond Powers to Klein used Conus Kilgor's Beyonder's powers to distort the level of the mental disease, the plague disease, weakening it and slowing down the deterioration. Wow, I cannot read that word. Deterioration. Okay, that was a bad second attempt. Making use of this period in which he had clarity of his mind, he raised Death Knell again and pulled the trigger. Bang. Another control spirit body bullet shot out of his motionless, massive, incomplete dragon. At the same time, Conus Kilgor used... So he's using Magnify on the bullet. On the spirit bullet. At the same time, Conus Kilgor used Magnify on the spirit bullet. Despite being attacked, Ivan Rambis didn't escape from Uni's control because he had fallen into a long period of feeling numb and stiff. Klein silently kept count of time, shooting a third control bullet before Rambis truly recovered. So he hasn't fully recovered yet. And before the third control spirit bullet's magnified effects ended, the grayish-white incomplete dragon trembled as it returned to normal, no longer looking sluggish. So we got him. Wait, does that mean we got him? Before the third control spirit bullet magnified effect ended, the grayish-white incomplete dragon trembled as it returned to normal, no longer looking sluggish. Oh, man. It's getting... Oh, I'm getting a little lost. There's so many fucking marionettes and Klein and Riven, and then, like, all these mental abilities, and then, like, we're magnifying the bullets, but then Klein isn't doing it. It's Uni, but then you have the other marionette. Oh, my God. Ah, I need to fan myself down. I'm getting lightheaded. All right. Chapter 1053 is called Persistent. Not Persistent, President. Okay, next chapter. Okay. Timestamp. 1 hour, 4 minutes, 55 seconds. I know I missed your messages right now. Don't forget the video, Sunny. I have some artwork in your DMs. A long time ago, when Audrey was looking into a town with legends of dragons, a team of people explored it and went mad. Oh my God. When Audrey was on vacation, right, at their summer place, and she went into the mind world where the dragon resided. It did say that. A team of people explored it and went mad one after another. Oh, and that was a high spec. Oh, okay. She thought it was the mind dragon. She thought it was the mind dragon. They used the mind. Okay, but it wasn't the mind dragon. They used it. It was a high sequence spectator. Well, it was a demigod spectator that was spreading the plague. Wait, is the same story that town? Is that the same town that went mad? The same town she saw is the same town from the story. Fuck, man, they're like, oh my God, it's crazy how Cuttlefish pieces all this shit together, man. Not that we know of. So it's not the same one that we know of, but it's hinted that it could be, or it's it was another spectator doing the whole mind plague. This series is gonna be so much better on second reread. I'm like, oh my God, it's that reference from the ending, or it's that reference from this volume. Wow, man. Chapter 1053 is called President. Ivan said that this is an experiment by a spectator demigod. Audrey went to a town that got affected by Mind Dragon, and they also went crazy and mad. So it could have been the same ability in another way. Okay. Oh my God, man. This series is so intricate, bro. It's so intricate and complicated. Or it's hard to keep track of everything, especially because I'm not taking notes anymore. Oh my goodness. Woo! Chapter 1053 is called President. In a dimly lit world, a gigantic crimson moon hung silent over the house while everything in the garden seemed to be asleep. The despair in the incomplete grayish-white dragon's eyes dissipated as it retracted its skin-covered wings, behaving like a docile hunting dog. Dog? Is that referencing Susie potentially turning into that same form in the future? Docile hunting dog reared at home. The psychology alchemist counselor demigod of spectator pathway Ivan Rambus had lost his life and become Klein's marionette. What the fuck, dude? Klein is too fucking strong now. What the fuck? Without bothering to enjoy this achievement, he switched places with Uni, who was beside of the grayish-white dragon appearing as Gurmit Sparrow in his black trench coat and silk top hat. What a fucking crazy. I'm just a dog. I'm just a dragon. Then he controlled his new marionette to treat the infection he had received from mental plague. So now he can now cast Placate on himself. He no longer has to speak with Susie. Not Susie. He no longer has to speak with Audrey. Now he can just cast Placate on himself with Ivan. A gentle and cool breeze swept past the sea of the collective subconscious, seeping into Klein's island of consciousness. It made him feel like the object reeking of rotten, protrude, and discord object in his body of heart and mind was being purged out of his mind of a surgical knife. Klein's face immediately controlled as he grimaced. He once again felt an excruciating pain in his soul. Thankfully, in order to create the control spirit... This was a long fight. I just realized that. We've been playing whilst closing in since the beginning of the stream. Uni. I apologize. But that's half the fun. Am I right, guys? Am I right? Klein's face immediately contorted as he grimaced. He once again felt the excruciating pain in his soul. Thankfully, in order to create the control of spirit body bullets and yesterday's once more charms, he had already accustomed to the once feelings. He didn't hold his head and roll around. After purging the contagious mental disease from his consciousness, the cool wind brought about a warmth that made him want to take an afternoon nap. It allowed his damaged spirit body to relax as if he was soaked in a bath. His mind and body quickly recovered, and thanks to a nourishment, by the time he recovered from his mental disease, the gentle breeze that blew at him became intense. It swept the surroundings, wiping all the contagion left in the air. After doing all this, Klein made the grayish-white dragon rapidly shrink its body, covering its godhood and turning back into a human form. However, as Ivan Rambus' clothes had been ripped to pieces, the grayish scales on his body didn't disappear. They stay. A few seconds later, the ascetic leader of the Church of the Evernight, Ariana, walked out of the... Was she watching the whole time? Change song back? We can... Yeah, let's change it back. Do this. Give me a sec. Let me find my place. Okay, I found my place and we changed the music back. She made the concealed world they fought in. Of course she was watching. Oh, I thought she left. Fought in. She just chilling, didn't want to overstep and make it too easy. Oh, that's true. That the same thing happened in the last fight. When she made the world, she still watched. She said, "I won't help, I'll just observe." Muted? I'm not muted. You almost got me unhinged. However, as Ivan Rambus closed, a few seconds later, the ascetic leader of the Church of Evernight, Ariana, walked out of the gigantic crimson moon in her simple robe and belt and made of tree bark. Her long black hair cascaded down as she stepped across the void and arrived diagonally over Ivan Rambus. The angel stretched out her right hand and, with a gentle squeeze, left Ivan Rambus' blurry soul leave his body and float above his head. "Why are you helping George III?" Ariana asked directly. Ivan Rambus confused expression immediately turned seriously. "This is a choice of times and inevitably oh my god, I cannot read this word. First try. An inevitability of destiny. We are just following the flow of tides and providing some guidance." That was a name drop of the last chapter. The flows of tides. "And providing some guidance, allowing the times to develop in the right direction." The standard answer of the Twilight Hermit Order. From the looks of it, the psychology alchemist demigod doesn't know what Adam's true goal is either. Oh, even they don't know. Even as official members of the Twilight Hermit Order, most of them probably don't know. Klein didn't have any problems thinking that his situation inside of the concealed world. Ariana didn't show any surprise as she passed. What is the trend of times? Ivan Rambus' eyes... Oh, maybe he might know this. Ivan Rambus' eyes were unfocused, but his expression was solemn as he entered. A war? Oh my god, we fucking are going to war. a war, one that will sweep the entire world. It's gonna be a war that's not just the northern or southern continent that happened in the fourth epoch. Okay, so it's like it's gonna the whole world. This isn't peace. This isn't peace 9. Klein frowned slightly as he couldn't help but mumble inwardly. He knew very well what a world war would do to humans. He only wished that this investigation with the Church of Evernight would be able to seize the key and successfully prevent the war which the Twilight Hermit Order was strongly pushing for erupting. Ariana fell silent for a second before asking what secret George III is hiding. Ivan Rambis revealed a smile. Every king is restrained by 3 major contracts and can only reach a limit of sequence 5, but with our help, he bypassed the restrictions and has already reached a high level 1. Oh, he's helping them get... So the Twilight Hermit Order is helping them get stronger. Once the tides of times come, he will easily be able to ascend to the spot that should have belonged to him. What the fuck? 3 major contracts. What's that? It's understandable that to limit a king to sequence 5 due to the strong push to keep mysticism under wraps, it's best for a king to be changed normally. The people will find it acceptable if they could live for 80 to 90 years, but to still be active at 120 to 130 years will be the cause of conspiracy theories and panics. George III cooperated with psychology alchemists and the demonist sect to live longer. Typically, this is a restriction on the king, not that one of the members of the Augustus family. They should have grounded angels among them, so there's no reason for them to support George III. Many questions arose in his mind. I feel like there'd be a good way to kind of like trick people. Oh no, like, oh, wait, not everybody's a seer. Like, for a seer to be perfect, like, you just make a marionette when you retire, right? And then your marionette is the retired you, and then you have a new person that you disguise yourself as a marionette, and then that's your new person, like that's your new successor. Like George IV would be you, but you're disguised as somebody else. Okay, I feel like a seer would be able to pull this off. Many questions arose in his mind. George III still isn't a demigod, is he? Is he using some method to possess a high level and perhaps the acting ahead of time? Ariana asked unhurriedly. To the Church of Evernight, this was a crucial problem. If George III was already a demigod that could directly contact the Church of the Storms and seem to capture him because of the king himself was enough evidence. Ivan Rambis' soul nodded and said yes. What is the exact method? Ariana continued asking. Ivan Rambis slowly shook his head and said, I'm not sure. The person in charge of this matter is our president. Our president, okay? The president is not Adam. If he's hiding in the shadows, it has to be somebody else. I only remember him once mentioning that he wanted George III to have more talent. Upon hearing such a description, Klein instantly thought of something in Rizzo's diary page. The fuck? What? In the eyes of the Emperor, the so-called talent was to make one's psyche and soul more like a high-level ancestor, as such be able to obtain the recognition of their corresponding beyond characteristics, or the mental imprint which sealed artifacts, allowing them to easily consume the potion and wield the sealed artifacts without the immense negative effects. There wasn't a perfect solution. It could even be said that there was great latent risks. This was because the mental imprint wouldn't revert and control the consumer or the wielder soul, causing them to experience certain changes. If anyone were to rely on this method to advance to demigod... Dude, thank you for subscribing. If any of this to rely on the advance to a demigod, there was an extremely high chance of becoming a monster formed of mental suitors. If anyone were to rely on this method to advance to a demigod, there was an extremely high chance of becoming a monster formed of mental suitors. Was George III hypnotized? He actually accepted such a method, and no, if he were hypnotized, the Augustus family angel or sealed artifact would definitely discover the problem. Klein became even... So he isn't hypnotized. So he's doing this. Klein became even more puzzled as he waited for the ascetic leader floating in the sky to ask further. Ariana clearly knew what more talent meant. I don't know. Without any changes in expression, she asked, "Who is your president?" Ivan Rambis revealed a look of reminiscence. So it has to be somebody besides Adam. He has many identities and names. Oh wait, I don't want to spoil myself and read too early. Oh, it's Hermes. President, get down, get down. It's fucking Hermes. Hermes is the president. But he has many identities and names, but I can confirm that he is a prisoner by psychology alchemist as long as I see him. His current identities and names are one of the 4 kings of the sea, the king of Black Throne, Barris Hopicus, the former counselor of Backland Medical School, the royal... What the fuck are all these titles? The royal family's medical consultant, the already dead Pauli Derala... What? The already dead... Pauli Deraulu, The famous hermit of the Central Sonia Sea, Eric Drake, king of the Black Throne. It was only one then that he realized that he had heard of the title. But he had already neglected it, not taking it into his heart, and someone thinking, wait, so this pirate king is from the spectator pathway? The pirate king is a spectator, and he's the fucking president of the Twilight Hermit Order? He nodded in enlightenment. Ariana listened quietly as he asked, what secret is George III hiding in the Blood Emperor ruins? What? All these fucking titles, man. One of the 4 keys of the sea, the king of the Black Throne, Barris Hopkins. What? Those are all his identities, like how Klein... No, I know. It's like, those are all his identities. He has a lot... I thought Klein had a lot of identities. This bitch has a lot of identities. What the fuck? Hyven Rambus' slightly dazed expression changed slightly. An extremely important thing. If he wants to grasp it, he would need a large number of sacrificial rituals. What is it? Ariana pressed without any pause. Hyven Rambus was taken aback. I don't remember. He suddenly raised his hand to grip his soul's head, clearly in pain. However, no matter how he thought about it, he couldn't remember the answer. Was this memory forcibly deleted by Adam or a certain angel from the spectator pathway? Klein watched his heavy expression as he felt the secret in the ruins was more important than he imagined. Ariana fell silent for a few seconds before lowering her head and asking Klein, do you have anything you want to ask? Klein thought for a moment and asked Hyven Rambus, what is the name of the high sequence beyond a potion in the spectator pathway? The pain in Hyven Rambus' soul lessened as he slowly replied, Sequence 4, Manipulator, Sequence 3, Dreamwalker, Sequence 2, Discerner, Sequence 1, Author. He didn't mention Sequence 0, Visionary, clearly unaware. So even he doesn't know Visionary. What's the potion formula for Manipulator? Although Klein felt that his question was rather straightforward, compared to the Mam Ariana's, he still asked. In a dazed tone, Hyven Rambus said without hesitation, the main ingredient is an elderly mind dragon's complete brain. We knew this. Wait, which was a... I thought we knew all these. We knew Manipulator. We know Dreamwearer. Wait, no. Do we not know Manipulator? No. We know all these. Which is the reveal. We've known Author. We've known Visionary. Is it Discerner that we didn't know? Is it 2 and 3 that we did? No, we know Dreamweaver. That was... No, oh no, it was Dreamwalker. That was the chapter title. Do we know what we know? Discerner, yes. We've learned Discerner. We've learned Discerner. Yeah, because I know these. I know 0. I know 1. I know 2. Unless 3 and 4? Wait, I'm confused too. Hey, I'm not the only one today. Wait. But we've heard of this main ingredient before. The main ingredient is an elderly mind dragon's complete brain. So this is him confirming if it's true or not. The crystalline heart of a tree mentor or a bionic characteristic or a manipulator. We did not know Sequence 2 pathway. Oh, Unhinged terrorizing the Prime King Vaughn? Really? We knew Discerner? Damn. Because we knew the high ones. Visionary, Author. I remember those for sure. The supplementary ingredients are 80 milliliters of blood of an elderly mind dragon, 3 golden leaves of a tree mentor, 7 different drops of tears from different humans or non-human creatures that were shed due to intense motions. The ritual is that on a special occasion with at least 10,000 people... Wait. The ritual is that on a special occasion with at least 10,000 people drink the potion when they are in the midst of an emotional resonance. How the fuck is Audrey supposed to do this? Unless we're like at a banquet with like 10,000 people and she has like a grand announcement. Everybody's like, oh my God. And then that's when she drinks it, like during a toast. In contrast, the difficulty of a demigod ritual or the spectator pathway isn't that high. That's right, spectators can heal and analyze themselves, allowing them to effectively deal with the madness and the loss of control brought about the potion so the ritual can be simplified. Klein nodded and thought, what's the potion formula? What's the potion formula for a dream? Oh, I know when we drink this. When we go to war, Audrey has to give a speech because Earl Hall is as a higher up, right? So he's going to be involved, right? In whatever meeting. It's going to be like before the 4th Great Ninja War in Naruto. When all the Hokage and all the cages are giving their speech, right? Audrey has to give a speech because she's the daughter of Earl Hall. And when they do the toast, she like drinks it in front of everybody and like, we go to war. Oh man. I'm getting hyped up in my own headcanon right now. I don't know. Hyven Rambus shook his head. Alright then, Klein asked Ivan Ramis why he had personally come to Audra and received the corresponding answer. Then he said to Ariana, I have no further questions. The questions he had asked couldn't be answered by Ivan Ramis. Ariana's right hand pressed softly, causing Ivan Ramis' soul to return to his body. Following that, the angel glanced at Klein and said calmly, don't use him as a... Why not? Don't use him as a marionette. Before his mental imprint is removed, it's best you don't use his beyond characteristics to create items. Of course, Adam. Of course, I don't want Adam to visit me. Klein nodded sincerely. I will remember. Thank you, ma'am, Ariana. What a fucking chapter. Not in terms of war, at least. Bro, daughter of Earl Hall isn't anything in Lowen. What do you mean? Or maybe they, like, ask him, like, hey, man, can you, like, give a speech or something? And I'm like... we'll see. We'll see. Maybe. But yes, in terms of war, Earl isn't that much. There are people higher than an Earl. Got it. Do I remember them? No. I don't remember the rankings after Earl. But there should be people higher than him. Got it. Next chapter. Let me finish my sandwich. Let me finish chugging my sandwich. Chugging my sandwich. Let me finish eating my sandwich and chugging my G Fuel. Give me 2 minutes. 2 minute break. 2 minute break. 2 minute break. Let me do this timestamp. Give me a sec. Update this. She is just beautiful and really rich, so she is an interesting marriage prospect. Give me a sec. How's your guys' day, by the way? Just give me 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. And then we'll continue reading. It's the bite of 87. Is Blue Eye Samurai good? I haven't been watching that much anime recently. Since we've been mostly reading. But most of my free time has been streaming. So I haven't been able to watch that much anime recently. Speak? What is Speak is Steins Gate. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Free Ren. Dun Dun Dun. Fucking Chainsaw Man. I'm making my girlfriend watch it right now. I'm making I almost said her name. I'm making my girl watch Chainsaw Man. Whew, fuck. The Hero X is popping off. I know. I'm excited. I'm excited to catch up. I'll tell you that. I am excited to catch up with To Be Hero X. What I probably will do, I'll try and watch the episode sometime this weekend and slowly edit like the next arc. That way I can upload that whole episode react. Hopefully quick. Ugh. Because I do want to catch up. The last arc I saw with the girl with green hair, that shit had me crying, man. I started fucking crying, dude. That shit fucked me up. I think I am gonna watch To Be Hero 6 sometime over this weekend, slowly edit it and have it uploaded. Now, by the way, are you gonna read until the episode's release or pause at 10:55? I don't know. I could probably still go for a little bit to know if I'm gonna make food now. You know what? I probably will stop. I probably will stop just so I can start uploading the video. There's a second E-Soul arc. Oh, that's hype. Don't worry, that's not a spoiler. That's just hyping me up. There's a second E-Soul arc. Fuck yeah. So there's a potential for characters to have a second arc. Okay. You know what? I will stop at 10:55. I will stop at 10:55 just so I can upload the video, delete the video, delete all my old videos, and just download the YouTube VOD so it's a smaller memory size. And then while all that's downloading, I can just record either Shadow Slave or ROV. Or if I'm not hanging out with my missus. If not, I'll watch To Be Hero 6 and edit that. No, not a second ESO arc. I stopped at the... Oh, you stopped at the second arc? Misinformation. Love to see it. You should really finish the ESO arc. The... Damn, you didn't finish the second arc? The finale of ESO was really good. All right, before I stall, let's read our last chapter. Yeah, we'll just read our last chapter. So we can do 2 hours. To Be Hero 6. That's good. Now, what I want to know... Wait, quickly tell me. Does To Be Hero X end in 2 weeks, or does it keep going? So did I say To Be Hero 6? I was talking about the movie, my bad. Wait, let me quickly look this up. Does it end when season 1 of Lord of the Mysteries ends? I think we still have 2 to 3 episodes. Okay. Need to read it, but this... Okay. All right, let's read our last chapter. Ah, shit. So there's only like 2 weeks left. Oh, so it's probably going to end around the time Lord of the Mysteries ends. And I missed like half a season. Ah, I fucked up. I should have kept doing it. All right. I'll still try and do more. All right, let's do this. All right, let's read our final chapter. That way everybody can go make some... Will you read COI? Yeah, I am going to read COI after. I'm just going to take a... I'm going to take a break. I am going to take a break before I read COI. I'll be honest. I'm shooting for like 1 month off of Lord of the Mysteries, but I'm going to be doing Lord of the Mysteries video. Like, I'm going to be doing... We're going to do like a huge-ass tier list on every character, every arc. We'll be doing the volume discussion. Like, we're still going to be doing LOTM's like videos, right? That we can do like besides the readings before COI. But yeah, no, don't worry. We'll take a slight break. We'll be doing other stuff, right? In between. But probably not at the same daily output. Just so I can take like a little break. Just so I can take a little break or so. All right, last chapter. Last chapter. All right. Forces S tier. We'll find out. We'll find out. I'm excited to... And you know why? I'm excited to finally go through the fucking wiki and look at every single character. That way I don't forget anything. Yeah, Dusby, it's someone is more Eldritch Horror than LTM. Really? It's more Eldritch Horror? Ooh. F tier, you're gonna get some people mad, username. Alright, so this is gonna be our last chapter for today before the episode goes live. So make sure you guys watch... Oh. I'll show the chapter. Don't worry, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Let me do a timestamp. So let me do that. Give me a sec. I'm gonna delete that. Hold up. Give me a sec. 1 hour 22 ish. Delete. Chapter on screen. Yeah, we want to delete the chapter on screen, so I have the timestamp at around 1 hour and 22 minutes. Okay. Just in case. Even though I only showed it for like a brief second on like with the transparency lowered, just in case. Just so we can avoid any like potential copyright stuff, just to be safe. All right, we're good. All right, with that being said, this is going to be our last chapter. You can select a book 1 or 2. We're not going to get a book 3, right? But all right, last chapter for today, before the episode goes live, is called Tailored Man Ritual. Now, before I forget, I forgot my timestamp. That's fine right there, 122:07. We might? Oh, hell yeah, I'm pumped. I gotta fucking read that weekly? Oh, hell yeah. That's gonna be fun. After thanking her, Klein immediately gave up his control over Hyven Rambus, making it impossible for him to maintain his marionette-like state. With that, this spectator pathway demigod collapsed to the ground and became a corpse. Ariana lowered her head and took a look. The darkness in her eyes grew deeper. Hyven Rambus' corpse merely got erased like a pencil drawing, as if he was being wiped away by an eraser, inch by inch, leaving behind only an ice blue metal cylinder. So fucking cool, dude. Such a crazy ass ability. Right on the heels of that, beams of light seeped out of the void and quickly gathered together, forming a strange object. It was a fist size and looked like a heart. However, it resembled a different kind of brain, and its surface being covered in grayish-white wrinkles, each crevice with countless symbols and strange patterns that extended into the surroundings. These connected to a world that Beyonders of the other pathways couldn't see. This was a Beyonder characteristic left behind by a manipulator. Miss Ariana concealment and reversing concealment process is able to quickly extract Hyven Rambus' Beyonder. I forgot what else was able to quickly extract it away. Also, no easy, he'll forget to select book 1 or something. We've done that in the past. When I looked up a volume 2 summary, you know what's funny? I did look up a volume. I think I read the volume 4 summary for like a quick second for COI, but I already forgot it out of my head. I don't remember. It fucking said LOTM2. I already forgot it, so we're good. I don't remember what the title was called, but we're good. And I forgot what I read, but we read that for like a brief second. We're like, wait a sec, we're reading the wrong thing. Right on the heels of that, beams of light spread out of the void and quickly gathered together, forming a strange object. It was a fist size. It looked like a heart. However, it resembled a different kind of brain, and its surface was being covered in a grayish-white wrinkles, each crevice with countless symbols and strange patterns that extended into the surroundings. These connected to a world that Beyonders of other pathways couldn't see. Just as a Beyonder characteristic left behind by a manipulator, Miss Ariana concealment and reversing concealment process is able to quickly extract Hyven Rambus' Beyonder characteristics. Klein came to realization after a moment of pause. At this moment, Ariana calmly said, "The mental imprints in it have all been removed. Thank you, ma'am, Ariana." Not surprised at all, he bowed as if he had prepared to do so. He had decisively given up his marionette because he foresaw that something like this would happen. In fact, his original plan was to bring Hyven Rambus above the Great Fog as a marionette and allow him to use Unshadowed Crucifix to purge the manipulator, Dreamwalker, Hypnotist, and other Beyonder characteristics out. This way, Miss Justice... we read COI before LOTM, no longer needed to worry about the ingredients needed before becoming a demigod. Even her Beyonder dog at home had a chance of advancing. Oh, that's gonna be cool. After all, Audrey had briefly mentioned in the past to Dwayne Dances that her act of escaping from Hyven Rambus' control was all thanks to Susie, but later on he had considered that there was no way he could bring Hyven Rambus above the Great Fog inside the world of concealment, as if it would directly expose the fact that he was a fool under Ariana's watchful eyes. Oh, he doesn't want her to know that. And once he left, no matter where he teleported to, there was a chance of being discovered by Adam because Hyven Rambus' existence. He would inadvertently be discovered by Adam because of that, okay? In that case, giving up a marionette in front of Ariana was undoubtedly a better choice. At least this angel had a high chance of helping him remove the mental imprint of a Beyonder characteristic. And none of these affected Klein's original plan. He could easily find some ingredients to make Hyven Rambus' Beyonder characteristics into a problematic potion. He would then pour it onto an ordinary item so he could absorb the potion and transform. After obtaining such a sealed artifact and binding it with the Unshadowed Crucifix, he would obtain... Oh my god. So... that is wild. So he had obtained it, like, through a secondary means outside of Adam's perseverance, and he wouldn't... No. Perception, he wouldn't be able to see it. After obtaining such a sealed artifact and binding it to the Unshadowed Crucifix, he could obtain the corresponding Beyonder characteristic by keeping track of time. As for the mental corruption during this process, there's no need for concern. The Unshadowed Crucifix could also cleanse it. Klein picked up... There's like so many layers in order to get that Beyonder characteristic. What the fuck? Klein picked up Hyven Rambus' Beyonder characteristic, but he was unable to stuff it into the iron cigar case. He could only stuff it into his pocket. As for Ariana, she cast her gaze towards the ice blue metal cylinder and said in an unhurried voice, "It's from the cosmos, so it's best you don't use it." Why? "Even you carrying it with you should be limited, otherwise a gaze might be cast on you." A gaze from the cosmos would be cast on him, causing you to be corrupted and suffer aberrations. I'm going to try to tally up them in spoiler chat on one sec. From the cosmos, Klein found the description familiar. Soon he remembered the origins of its familiarity. This originated from the yellow light Venetian prophecy of the apocalypse. Oh my god. Sights in the spirit world from the Abraham family. I forgot there was that prophecy. Casting one's gaze from the cosmos, the lands to shatter, everything in the world would cease to exist. The apocalypse. The origins of this sealed artifact is related to the apocalypse. And you know what? Maybe this war that's bound by the tide of fates from the Twilight Hermit Order is like the ignition for the apocalypse, right? Like the war would lead to the apocalypse. What does the cosmos like? If it's a war that would encompass the entire world, I feel like that would lead to the apocalypse. What does the cosmos represent? What does it have to do with the astral world? A series of, you know what? No, man. The apocalypse would not be book 1. The Great One Piece War. I'm still waiting for that. I feel like the war would be book 1. The setup for and set up the apocalypse for book 2, COI. Or maybe if there's a potential book 3. Because I remember the apocalypse wasn't supposed to happen for like another 20 years. And I don't see there being a 20-year time skip by the end of this series. I don't know. There's like 300-400 chapters left, so who knows? But faced with this question, Ariana nodded and gently said, yes, the cosmos. Is the cosmos above our heads? He pointed at the dark night sky, which was embedded with a gigantic crimson moon. Yes, Ariana gave an affirmative answer, but she didn't explain further. After some thought, she asked again, there are many hostile existences there that are attempting to destroy this world. That sounds like a book 2 thing. Ariana's gaze swept across his face and finally stopped at saying, I can't give you an answer. Oh, he can't even know. Wow. There are some things that make it easier to be infected, but the more you know, both your body and soul will be infected. Once you become an angel, you can seek out the exact answer. The more I know, the easier it is to get infected. A chill ran down Klein's back. Oh my God. The more he knows, the easier it is to get affected. He didn't ask Rhodes earlier about the sealed artifact that Hyven Ramus possessed because he was afraid that Adam would notice them if they left any traces behind. When facing a Kings of Angels, no amount of caution was enough. Seeing that Ariana wasn't revealing anything else, Klein pointed at the ice blue metal cylinder and asked, how should we handle this item? The description of the ascetic leader made him a little afraid of bringing the sealed artifact above the Great Fog to disinfect. Ariana calmly said, my suggestion is to sacrifice it to the goddess together with the contributions you had previously rendered. You can exchange them for what you want. Klein nodded slightly. I understand. After expressing his gratitude, Ariana's figure was quickly erased and disappeared into the dark garden under the abnormally huge moon. And with that, the world in concealment collapsed. Klein observed a few seconds before taking out candles and other rituals items he carried with him. He quickly set up an altar and sacrificed the ice blue metal cylinder to the Evernight goddess. At the end of the ritual, amidst the howling winds, the burning ash of the herbs and the surroundings of souls that rose up and landed onto an empty spot on an altar. The ash and soil were connected, forming words. Sequence 3, oh shit, here we go. Oh, we're getting the main ingredients for Scholar of Yore. Sequence 3, Scholar of Yore. Main ingredients, Hound of Fulgrim, also known as Syria Castle Keeper. Pairs of eyes, one demonic wolf, a fog's transformed heart. Oh shit. It's nice down here. Advancement ritual, be separated from reality for at least 3... What? Advancement... Wait, I'm sorry. Time travel? Advancement ritual, be separated from reality for at least 300 years. Oh! Wait! Wait. Is that what Zaratul was doing this whole time? How... Since he was separated in the fog world, fog town, wasn't he doing the ritual the whole time? Wait, be separate from... Wait, no, but we know he was at least Miracle Invoker. Or potentially Sequence 1, Attendant. Wait, no. Well, his part that was separated would make sense. But the main body... Yeah, no, he's Sequence 1. Yeah, Sequence 1, my God. Yeah. There was like his spurred apparition may have been like a past self from that point when he was advancing. Advancement ritual, oh my God, dude, these fucking I swear, man, if there's a time loop where we like undo everything at the end of this book, it's gonna be fucking wild. I'm gonna keep reading. Be separate. Oh my God, this sounds so hype. This ritual, I only read like 3 words of this ritual and I'm fucking going crazy. Advancement ritual, be separate from reality for 300 years and consume the potion after one becomes history and doesn't belong to the present era. What? This Klein couldn't help but blink. He's like, what the fuck? Wondering if he had seen the wrong description. He's like, how the fuck am I supposed to do this? The description of not belonging to the present era made him think of a line of the in his honorific name. Oh, it was in his title the whole time. It was in his honorific the whole time. The fool that doesn't belong to this era. Oh, that is smart. I've been hanging above the extraordinary door of light for more than... Oh, wait, no, he can already advance. What the... Oh, my God, he is so lucky. Holy shit, he is so lucky he picked this pathway. He literally already skipped this part. He literally already did the advancement ritual. He can just drink it right away. I've been hanging above the... Oh, my God, I'm so lightheaded. I've been hanging above the extraordinary door of light for more than 300 years. In a sense, have I already completed the ritual? And I'm only waiting to consume the potion? What the fuck? Lucky, you say. Dude, imagine if being a... dude, a sequence 1 ritual has to involve lampooning. Because he's been lampooning this whole time or some crazy shit like that. It'd be so funny. Like, what a coincidence. Oh my God, man. I'm so lightheaded. Oh, man. I need to take a chill pill. I've been hanging above the extraordinary door of light for more than 300 years. In a sense, have I already completed the ritual and I'm only waiting to consume the potion. The mysterious space above the gray fog really has a very close relationship with the seer pathway. Oh, and the gray fog, he, she, they, only releases these individuals after they've at least met this criteria in an advancement, if they were to make it this far. Could it be that the manifestation of the uniqueness, Klein was momentarily delighted but also grim? This is because he didn't know if a price was exacted for such a bestowment. Phew, I really want to jump to a neighboring pathway after becoming an angel, to not follow whatever path was planned for me. For other bizarre sorcerers, the hardest part about... I actually don't even want him to change. I want Klein to go through with every sequence on this pathway. I actually don't want him to switch. For other bizarre sorcerers, the hardest part about the advancement ritual was to live for more than 300 years. The only other way I'd accept for him to change if he changed to a Mons pathway. And that was like part of his plan the whole time or some crazy shit. That's the only other way I will accept like a change in advancement. After all, this isn't a pathway that's known for having a long lifespan. Also, being separate from reality for 300 years also drives one mad. For bizarre sorcerers who are in a dissociative state, the risk of madness and losing control is quite significant. I feel like they have the hardest chance of losing control. Klein looked at Scholar of Yours potion formula as thoughts couldn't help but flash through his mind. Wait, so would he be like a scholar from the past or a scholar from the future? If it's like a Scholar of Yore, would he be like a... So he's a scholar of the past because he's been alive for 300 years, or he's like a scholar of the future because he would have gone 300 years. He would have had to waited 300 years? After an unknown amount of time, he entered the ritual and put away the corresponding items. As he walked out of the garden, the gigantic crimson moon in the pitch-black darkness faded away, disappearing inch by inch. Then he saw the fresh autumn flowers and the sunlight shining above them. He also saw a blonde girl waiting in between the house and garden. Audrey? Oh, Audrey's eyes were an elated look as the corners of her lips curled up unconsciously. Klein nodded as he at her before his figure was enveloped by scarlet flames. Elsewhere in the garden, there was another flame soaring in the sky, but it wasn't obvious. When the flames dissipated, Gurman Sparrow was gone. The remnants of the crimson moon and the night scenery vanished completely. I am so overwhelmed. Amon would be able to surpass him if he switched. Well, I mean, he would be able to just because he's a stronger sequence. But I'm over here thinking, like, once they're both at sequence 1, right? Like, when they're both, like, at a playing field. That's what I'm thinking. Like, once they're both at, like, an equal playing field and, like, Klein has to hit sequence 0 and he doesn't become the Fool. No, he has to become the Fool. There's no shot Volume 8 isn't called the Fool. Like he has to be the Fool. So I take that back. He has to be the Fool. Audrey fell into a daze for a few seconds before thoughtfully looking away at entering Viscount Glaint's residence. After she left in the carriage with Susie and the servants, she returned home and had a chance to be alone. As expected, she received the world's invitation for a meeting above the great fog inside the palace. Audrey looked at the world, Gurman Sparrow, and calmly asked what was Hyven Rambus' true goal. She had long known for Gurman Sparrow's calm composure that Hyven Rambus had been finished off. Klein answered frankly, the first is to find out if there's a mastermind behind Shuan Force actions. Secondly, when the princess expresses her goodwill towards Earl Hall family, the cue for you to not be an obstacle. In essence, it's to create a fracture between the 3 major churches. That is definitely going to lead to war. With regards to this matter, Audrey had also had already discussed it with Mr. World before. There was no need to seek further explanation as she asked, then why was a demigod like Ivan Rambus personally visiting me? Klein smiled and said, if you wish to deceive the guards arranged by Earl Hall as well as hypnotize a hypnotist with great certainty with causing any commotion, a sequence 5 might not be capable of doing so. Therefore, it's best to send the demigod. Furthermore, you knew Ivan Rambus and had interactions with him before, so your vigilance against him would be minimized. To be honest, if you weren't careful enough and had an unnoticeable helper like Susie, the whole matter would have been gone smoothly without you and I knowing until Monday. Just as Audrey didn't wear a thick mask, she smiled inside with mixed emotions. So I'm already this powerful? Yeah, you go hype yourself up, girl. She's strong, dude. Powerful to the point of needing a demigod to be certain of success. He was even more powerful than I had imagined. You actually hypnotized a demigod that's good at hypnotism. Klein praised with a smile. Audrey pursed her lips without realizing it and smiled. That's mainly because of the fate siphon charm you gave me. My hypnotist potion seems to have completely digested as a result of this. Oh, she's ready for an advancement. What a good way. Susie's the MVP. Like, literally, if it wasn't for her, they would have gone a few days unknowingly. What a fucking good series, man. It's... Oh, I get confused and I get lost because there's so many layers to like these chapters now, but it's good. It's fucking good. I'm doing my timestamp before I forget, man. It's fucking good. Timestamp. 39, 13. Oh, overall thoughts, right? Got overall thoughts. All right, beautiful. One sec. My God. Got it. Oh, I should put this right here. That way I know when I need to note something down, I remember. You get a bit dazed. One might say I do get a bit dazed. Yeah, you're right. I do get a bit dazed reading this sometimes. Because I'm telling you, I've never read anything with this many layers, man. Susie's the MVP. If he chose, the Marauder is harder because all beyond her sequence 1 that Iman had, and remember, sequence 0 ritual was hard. Oh my God, I forget. Fucking Amon has like manipulated the whole fucking pathway for demigods. So Klein would be screwed. No, okay, so Klein wouldn't change. Wow, like I'm getting sweaty, man. It's what a good series. GL equals good luck. Who good luck, by the way? Who's good luck, by the way? Wait, what do you mean? Well, you know what I mean. This was a damn good read-through. We literally had walls closing in for like almost a majority of this video. I kid you not, I think we had the walls closing in playing for like over an hour. That was a pretty fucking long fight. I think the one thing I've noticed in this series recently, a lot of fights have been like sub -5 chapters. But they're really good, and they have a lot of meat in the fight, right? But they've been shorter than 5 chapters. This was the first time in a good while where the fight was like at least 5 chapters. Well, like at least from the whole setup with Ivan Rambus entering, even though it wasn't like a physical battle, it was more like of a mental battle. There were still a lot of layers to it, so that was pretty cool. Oh me, I don't know. Yes, there was a lot of there was a lot of layers. There was a lot of layers to the fight, even though the chapters are pretty short, but it's a pretty meaty chapter. That being said, I hope you guys had a fun time. We're going to end the video and we're going to quickly watch a Shadow Slave review. And that being said, make sure you guys look out for the episode 11 react that's going to go up in like 2.5 hours. It was a very spicy episode. I'll tell you that. The fight was lasagna. Yeah, the fight was like a lasagna. It had a lot of layers. But not like my lasagna. My lasagna always comes out like burnt and like bad. This was like the fights are like a really good, well done lasagna, but like none other than Gordon Ramsay. Chef's kiss. And even though sometimes the piece is small, it has so much rich aroma in it, you know? But sometimes like he'll make you like a beefy ass plate of lasagna. And that was this one. It had a lot of layers. That being said, peace. Have an amazing, beautiful day. And I'll see you guys next time for more Lord of the Mysteries. And don't forget, praise the full. We're not going to take out the wig for the series finale. It's too much. It's very itchy. But peace. Later, guys. Now, let me quickly watch the Shadow Slave review. Before I forget, I have it up here. And before I actually watch it, let me check my memory. 166 gigs. We can still record it. We can still record it. All right. We can still watch it. All right. Let's switch here. We're gonna gotta love Shadow Slave. I like it, dude. I really like it so far. It's very like high octane. All right. Wait. Let me fix the transparency. Let me fix that. Give me a sec. Let me go on filters. Technically, you still have a few videos to react to from a billion streams ago. Yeah, I know. There's a lot on my watch playlist. I still haven't watched that Reverend Insanity video I said I was gonna watch. That's been on my watch later thing. All right. That being said, I know Doom is gone. I have finally we leveled up as a streamer. I've kind of figured out some things. Yes, I figured out why we kept seeing Doom. That being said, as a veteran of Shadow Slave and reading about 20 chapters, we're going to watch a Shadow Slave review by none other. What was his name? Pine Guin? Pine Guin. So make sure you check his video out. Like that bad boy. And we're going to watch a nice, short, and sweet review.
Is written by a certified
Wait.
sadist.
That is not what I thought the creator looked like. Hold up. I thought he was Korean. I think I got used to one. I don't know. I thought he was like Korean or something. I don't know. I don't know why I thought that. I guess because I'm reading. I guess because I'm used to reading so much stuff overseas. Like, okay, like they have to be like, it has to be like anime manga or something. And because it's uploaded on web now, I was like, I thought he was Korean. He's white, just like me. It's English. I was so off. Why did I think this was a Korean series? What the fuck?
Written by
so he's a sadist.
A certified sadist. Sometimes.
So that's him. I'm not dissing on him. That's
this
cool.
Novel is written by a certified sadist.
That's great. So that's like debate. I think it was all the creator's also American, right? Turtle Me.
Sometimes when you're reading this novel, you will feel as if the author just started picking up the pen
and doing what? You mean the quill?
Or his keyboard because he wanted to create a world to torture our main character in.
What the?
But
yo, you can put that on. You can put booty cheeks on YouTube.
Believe me.
Wait, is that supposed to be Shadow Slave in the background?
Is popular for a reason.
And 20. I didn't realize it's almost 30 million views. That's crazy.
It is quickly on its way to cementing itself a spot in the Hall of Fame for web novels.
I think it's already up there. You guys have been telling me from the beginning. It's like top 3. It's like it's part of the big 3.
However prestigious or meaningful
is that Faker?
This may be. The beginning
it's crazy, man. Out of context, it's like 10 years and he's still competing in World. It's wild.
The story is a little bit deceiving as our main character, Sunny, may come off as somewhat of an edgelord, but
he is an edgelord. I literally said that last stream. You see, I'm not lying. I literally said he's like an edgelord, and I love it. I love it.
This isn't true for the entirety of the story.
Really?
In fact, Sunny's character development is one of my most favorite things that I have had the pleasure of experiencing.
So he has a lot of layers.
Okay. And it is one of the main reasons that I have stuck
that's cool as artwork
with this novel for as long as I have. Sunny
character growth is crazy.
Goes from a character who you might befriend just because you're scared.
I wouldn't know if I'd befriend him in the beginning.
Scared of what's in their backpack to
so you befriend them because wait, what the fuck? Did he just add the gauntlet?
Character who you might befriend just because you're scared of what's in their backpack.
That is such a fucked up joke. First of all, don't come to school tomorrow, but he added the Infinity Gauntlet. What the fuck?
To a character that's much more amiable. At first,
that's him.
Were admittedly closed off to the rest of the world and emo. However,
damn, am I looking at a selfie?
First, they were admittedly closed.
Yes, I had hair once and I was emo.
Off
Is that me?
To the rest of the world and emo.
Wow, man, dude, I feel like I'm looking at a selfie from back in the days. God damn, man, that's great. I didn't have these bad boys, but I had this one. I had the smiley. Wow, man, that takes me back. That's crazy.
However, as the story progresses, Sunny transforms
Emozy geeky. Emuzy geeky.
into this person who is more open and willing to trust the people around him.
Oh, so he
and
eventually grows to believe in people.
eventually call them friends.
Oh,
In
that,
terms
I'm so happy for him for when
of
he does
power
that.
systems, Shadow Slave is on the simpler side of things, as
Okay.
our main character Sunny primarily ascends and becomes
Wait.
stronger
Okay.
via having wet dreams and
Okay, that's not a spoiler. Emo Easy Geeky must have been a crazy arc. It was definitely a crazy arc. So Sasuke. Yes.
occasionally having fated encounters, which might
Fated encounters like meeting Jet.
serve as a boon, but most of the time, due to the evil person who is in charge of writing this novel, Sunny would be lucky if dying was all he had to go through in
You're telling me he's gonna go more than just being tortured? Like you're telling me he's gonna go through the trenches? Is that what's gonna happen here? Okay.
said fated encounters. In terms of world building and lore, that is where this novel shines the brightest.
Is this
the novel
artwork?
could admittedly go deeper into politics, but it understands its audience and
I don't think from what I've read we've gone into politics. I should be able to switch scenes when we're talking, right? When we pause, I think that can work. It's all right. Probably not. I don't think we've seen politics in this series so
puts
far
most
yet.
of its attention
I mean, I'm
and
only 20 chapters in, right? But
effort into things like gods, the past, and the magical world that is
we just
admittedly much more cooler than political strife. Even
we literally only got into like one god so far. Like it's a dead god, but he heard him on the altar,
though it
which
does
was badass, by the way. That shit was fucking sick. That was like probably one of the best parts so far in Shadow Slave, besides Mommy Jet. That was a pretty cool part.
dip its toes a little bit into this area later on
Just a
in the
little.
novel.
Just a little
There
dip.
isn't a horror tag
Wait, what are the tags? Action. What's with the hearts? I'm like, I better not see rom-com in here. So this is an action adventure anti-hero system romance. Jet. We got romance. Not even Lord of Mysteries has a romance tag. This has a romance tag, but weak to strong. I think that's one of my favorite tropes. Going from weak to strong. Superpowers. The strong acting weak. The strong acting. Oh, so it's like a Smurf account. The strong acting weak and transmigration. Okay, Sunny gonna get some. I cannot say that on stream.
on the
D said that, not me.
novel, but there definitely should be one. And I'm not even sure why there is a romance tag on this novel.
So no Mommy Jet. What are these tags? I don't know about that romance tag.
Because I kid you not, a talking rock would probably be better at flirting than our main character Sunny is.
Sunny don't have Riz. Are you telling me Sunny doesn't have Riz?
Like at this point, I've just accepted the fact that Sunny is most likely doomed to forever be alone. Overall, romance aside,
I wish him nothing but good luck at the end of the series. Don't worry, romance comes in later. All right, like later. Shit, I'm a little ways off then.
this novel is a great mix of everything ranging from cultivation novels
I like that.
to even Dark Souls. The author of this
Ooh.
novel proudly puts on display the many influential
Okay, influences.
works that
Dark Souls, cultivation. I don't know what that is. What's this thing? I don't know what this is. That I don't know.
inspired this novel, and I hope to see more novels like this in the future. If this novel at all sounds interesting to you, please do read it. If you're not completely
Okay.
convinced yet, you can check out this video by my friend Weaver. It's an amazing video worth checking out.
I kind of want to watch that.
And other than that, thank you for watching all the way through, and I hope that I can see you guys again in my
That's how old we're gonna be when we finish Shadow Slave. Like, I finally caught up. I finally caught up to Shadow Slave. Kumo Desu ga Nanika? Kumo Desu ga Nanika. Yo, that's Spider. Well, that being said, if you want to check out this video, his YouTube channel is called Pine Guen. That was a good video. Pain. Oh, Reverend Insanity Pain. All right, awesome. Well, we're gonna leave it at that. If you like what you see and you want to see more, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you guys all next time. Peace and have. So I'm a spider, so what? That's the anime. I've never watched that anime. I was like, what's the joke? I'm a spider, so what? I thought like, so what, dude? Like, so what? So what? I was saying, so what back to you. So that's the other part of his inspiration. That's the anime. I'm a spider, so what? Got it. That was also part of his inspiration. That's cool. All right. Peace. And have an amazing day. Later, guys. Watching the Shadow Slave Reader now? Awesome, dude. Yeah, if I do not hang out with my girl right now, I'll probably read more Shadow Slave off stream. And if I do hang out with her, that's gonna have to wait until over the weekend. So we're gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait. Is that pregnant Vegeta? Ed Sheeran and Amon. I feel like I should be careful with this YouTube channel. Are there things I should know here or no? Have I watched this?
Once pregnant, mid.
That is so... This is so cursed. Alright. Alright. We're gonna leave it at that. Alright, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna end stream. I'm gonna upload the video. Yeah, I'll avoid it just in case. I'm gonna end stream, upload the video. And if I don't hang out with my girl, I'll be reading Shadow Slave off stream. That way I can read more on Sunday. There's one web novel video, I think, about dead wife, venerable something. Okay. Well, I mean, I want to read more, man. It's just, I want to read more stuff. I just don't have enough, like, free time. Maybe I should make that Minecraft, maybe I should make that Easy Geeky Minecraft YouTube channel. That way we can quit our job once we're successful with Minecraft videos. And then we can read more web novels. That'd be funny. All right, that being said, man, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to start uploading this video. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. You guys have any closing thoughts? Look, just so you guys know, I've actually played Genshin Impact back in the day. Look at my Genshin wallpaper. I've had this wallpaper since I think like 2020, dude. I've had this wallpaper for so long, man. I've had it for such a long time. It's crazy. Minecraft YouTubers don't have the best conclusion. You know what? I know. That's why we won't stream it. Most of them. I know. That's why the videos would only be off stream and we just upload them as like a gameplay series. And we have zero outside communication with the world. And that's it. So it's like we play in our own little bubble and we just stick to our Discord group. And because I know people on Wiz's Discord, they also play Minecraft together. So we just play with our own little bubble of friends on Discord, and that's it. And then we're chill and we're safe. All right? And I think we'll be good. And we will be good. And that's it. And we're good. But that's not going to be for a while. I'll probably do that after I finish Lord of the Mysteries. Probably after I finish Lord of the Mysteries. Maybe. But it's crazy. My girlfriend knows someone that they spoke to recently. And they're like, yeah, I moved out. I live by myself. And like, but you're so young. What do you do for work? I just play Minecraft. And I'm like, wow. I'm gonna do Lucius, I'm gonna do 365 on Tuesday. Since I already missed a chapter, I'm gonna do 365 with 366. Yeah. So I'm gonna do it from that. Oh, Merlin, please don't finish that. That's what's it called? You're flying too close to the sun with that joke. But yes, Lucius, I'm gonna do 365 when 366 comes out, and then I'll just put the two videos together. Since I was trying to do it on Tuesday, I didn't have time on Tuesday. I should have read it first before reading Lord of the Mysteries. I ran out of time after, but that's the goal. On Tuesday, I'm gonna read it when the new chapter comes out. Yeah. So I do apologize for missing that. But I'll do that. I'll do that on Tuesday. That way it'll be up right away when 366 drops, or at least by the time I'm free and I can do the episode react for 366. 365 would be together with that one. All right. That being said, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna upload this video, and then I'm gonna delete my old videos, make some space on my PC so I can do more recording on my videos. Cause look, man, my PC she's hanging on a fine line. So my 2 terabyte SSD has about 400 gigs left, and my local disk, right, my second external hard drive that I connected, my second is it hard drive? No, yeah, my external my second hard drive, my second memory space is another 2 terabytes. It's at 166 gigs, and that's getting full. So I think I'm gonna just delete all the videos I have saved, and I'm gonna just download the YouTube videos instead, because they'll be like less than like half the file size. So we should be able to free up like another terabyte of space. So that way we can do more recordings in like a day or whatever, and we don't have to be worried too much about memory space. All right, I'm gonna let you go though. Peace. Have a beautiful days. Later, guys. Sorry for stalling the outro. Later.